He was simply the dispatcher.
Yes.
Right. Who knows what variety of human I'll get tomorrow.
Yet another.
Right, and if there is any communicating that need be, a decision has to be made. That might be very tough for you. For example, even if it's something so small as an expensive, overpriced washer.
Yeah, I don't.
And I'm not talking about the whole thing. I'm talking about the little circular deal.
Right, that little thing. That little thing. Oh, and one more thing I'll tell you from the weekend. I decide, and it's hard for me to say this. I'm being facetious, but it is hard to say this. I finally lost in a movie theater. I lost a battle in the movie theater. Saturday afternoon, I figure I'm going to go see Wedding Crashers.
Okay.
Everybody says it's a funny movie. I agree. I like Vince Vaughn. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go see this movie. 3:30 p.m., Reston Town Center, Reston, Virginia. If you were in this theater, screw you and your families, because this theater...
What happened?
Here's the thing. There were talkers everywhere. I must have moved maybe 3 times during the movie, but it was crowded. I finally ended up in an aisle spot sitting in front of 2 people who had to be in their 50s.
Okay.
Now, they were not of this world, meaning they were not Americans, but they were not like these other aliens that I'm speaking of. These were people who appeared to be traveling in our country with actual visas.
Oh, really? Okay, all right.
I heard them before the main...
Not of the tourist variety. These are people that have come here to live, though.
No, these are tourists.
Oh, they're tourists.
They're tourists, because I've heard them during the coming attractions speaking about how many euros something costs. And I think, okay, you know what? I hate to say this, but I feel okay sitting in front of a couple of Europeans. Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll be cooler than everybody else that seems to want to have a conversation with everybody in the world.
All right.
And this was all before the movie started.
Mm-hmm.
So the movie starts, and there are people who are talking and laughing, and it's okay.
Right.
But these 2 behind me, I mean, every time Vince Vaughn does something or says something, she repeats it. And then he says... What was that? And then she says it. And I'll give you the scene where I went over the edge and then where the audience turned on me. Mm-hmm. Now, these people were speaking loudly. Mm-hmm. I mean, freaking loudly. They're at the dinner table there with Christopher Walken, and she's doing the thing to Vince Vaughn underneath the table.
With her foot. Right.
And Owen Wilson has already put the Windex in the guy's drink. And the grandma is talking about the other son being a homo. And her words, not mine.
Right.
Homo. The grandmother says, he's a homo.
I forgot the grandmother.
And everybody laughs. And the woman behind me says, he is a homo.
Yes.
And then the guy says, he is a what? And she says, he is a homo. Now, very loudly, and the movie is continuing.
Yes.
Now, at this point, I turned around and I said, ma'am, I don't know if you can realize this, but I hear every word you're saying, and all you're doing is repeating what's just been said on the screen. The guy in front of me, who incidentally I know could hear this woman, I'm not making this up.
Right.
He turns around to me and he goes, hey, shut up.
To you?
To me.
Yeah.
Now, all around me are people who have felt the need. They think they're watching goddamn television. Really.
That's right. That's what happens.
While things are happening on the screen, they're going,
right.
Oh, hey, look at that. What movie was that dude in? And I've ignored all of this, except for these people directly in front of me. And even this dick that was, these people behind me, this dick that was sitting in front of me, he was one of these guys that would try to whisper, but do it loudly with his chick or girlfriend, whatever it is.
Right.
Like, I heard him lean over and go, so, what do you think? Huh? Yeah, no, he was good in Starsky and Hutch. Yeah, he was good. No, that's his brother. No, his brother. He's got a brother. Obviously, talking about Owen Wilson.
Owen and Luke.
I can hear all this. Yes. And all I did, and I was respectful to the woman behind me. I said, ma'am, I don't know if you really... And the guy says, shut up. And I said, you're telling me to shut up? And then a mom that's sitting across the aisle turns to me and says, we are trying to enjoy the movie. Would you please be quiet?
Oh, my God, the injustice.
It's on you now.
And you're feeling the injustice
so
now.
You know I am serious. I swear on my wife's life, on my wife's grave. I turn to this woman and I say, wait a minute. You're telling me to shut up? I've heard you tell your kid turn off your cell phone. I've heard your kid tell you that she wants to go outside and play the video game. I heard you say, all of this is while the movie's going on.
Right.
I said, I heard you tell her.
You're officially fighting with 3 different people now.
I heard you tell her to go get more popcorn, not to mention the fact you, like everybody in this theater, have commented on everything that's happened. And then at that point, they're all just looking at me. And I swear to God, I said, folks, this ain't TV. Good night. And
good for you.
there's like 40 people in the theater. I got up and I get the, they're all applauding me as I'm leaving.
Wow.
Like I'm the jerk on wheels.
Oh, my God.
I swear to God.
Oh, my God.
I am not making this up. And all I did was just say this,
So you didn't get to enjoy the Wedding Crashers?
No, but because at that point, I've lost, and I've never lost a battle in a theater before.
Well,
I mean, I've had standoffs before. And I've even had Frida as my witness or Buzz as my witness when people talk. And this is an epidemic everybody knows about. Mm-hmm. And I dig the fact that it's a funny movie, like there's something about Mary, and you've got that atmosphere, and you want to share that with people. But really, if you're so goddamn retarded that you have to repeat everything, or you have to explain...
And do you think there's a chance of getting more of that the longer a movie stays in theaters? Like, I know you're a big one for catching movies when they first come out.
See, that's why I thought it'd be safe, because I thought, you know what, Wedding Crashers has been out for a month. I'm like the last person to see it. No, the theater was crowded. Maybe it was crowded because it was hot outside and people want to get out of that.
But it's also people that haven't seen it, and those are the people that, I think there's a directly proportionate statistic for people that haven't seen it. People that see movies early on, I think, are the people that are interested in pop culture. And
it happens all the time, though. Too much now.
Yeah.
The little brains are winning. You're outnumbered. That's why you ended up leaving the theater. You were outnumbered by the idiots.
So then I felt like a club. Escalator down, and there's some, pimply-faced kid. And I think, what am I going to do? Ask this pimply-faced kid to talk to the other pimply-faced kid who's wearing a pirate hat?
I would like you to throw 6 people out of the theater. Now, do it!
At least 6.
I finally just said, screw this noise. So I'll wait for it to come out on DVD. But I've never lost the battle in a theater before.
Yeah, it's a first.
I have the long time ago Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's how long ago this was at the Uptown Theater, that big theater downtown. And that's when I said, excuse me, would you please shut up? And the person immediately, the woman, said, F you. And the whole theater erupted into laughter and applause.
See, the thing is, I had it going with the Europeans behind me, with the fat guy in front of me, and with the mother directly to the right of me. And the whole time, the whole audience... And it's a weird thing when you're watching a movie, you normally don't look at other people.
Right.
But as I was scanning around with my head on a swivel, I noticed everybody in the theater is looking at the big fight that's happening.
Well, the movie was great. It was good. It was not great. It was a funny movie. It was not absolutely the greatest comedy I've ever seen. So, in a way, your entertainment value that you were giving people was a little better than what was up on screen.
But really, and I mean this, I know I speak for a lot of people, if you don't start putting in separate theaters, just say, if you're a big mouth and you want to talk and you're so stupid that you think it's TV, or you want to have a cell phone conversation, or if you want to have a friggin' 5-course meal.
Buzz is right. The idiots are winning.
We're outnumbered now. And that's why ticket sales are down, I think.
Go in this
really
theater.
believe that.
But if you just want to watch the movie, go in this theater. And I know I speak for a lot of people as well.
And it's like road rage. You don't know if you're going to get knifed or something when you say something.
True. It's a risk.
I know that no one likes the commercials. I don't like the commercials either. But I think it's a true sign of someone's intelligence, even if it's the first time they're seeing it. Have you seen the thing that Charlie Sheen and John Cryer do?
Yes.
Okay.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
National Cinema.
Okay. Yeah. If you laugh at that, seriously, you should be taken out in the back and you should be deheaded. They should just...
Beheaded.
What did I say? Deheaded?
Deheaded. Disemboweled, beheaded.
You know what I mean? Just slice that baby. If you laugh at that, and there are people who I know have... And this was another thing driving me crazy.
Well, I laughed at it the first time I saw it.
Before the movie, when that thing is going, I see people and I hear people saying, oh, man, okay, this is good. This is really good.
That's sad. People love it.
This is really good. And then the commercials come on, and instead of being mad And I mean, these are not commercials for movies. It's like it was a Gatorade commercial or something.
Right.
You know, I hear people going, "Oh, that's cool, man, that's cool."
They love it.
Oh, I'd kill for that's a good spot. I'd kill for Gatorade.
They're not just commenting on the movies; they're commenting also on the commercials.
I think we can solve this if we make the word jumbles before the movie harder.
Right.
The stupider people will start staying away.
Amen.
And listen, really, how hard is Hillary Duff when they're doing the celebrity scramble?
Is that who that is?
You know,
I kept yelling out FUD.
I didn't get it. Yeah, I also Elmer Fudd was in my mind on that one.
You just couldn't make it work.
Hillary Duff. It's just one of those letters, those damn jumbles.
And also, I didn't appreciate it when, like, it would have the slide on before the show. Which of the Fantastic Four members is not pictured? And people would actually say, "The Thing! It's a Thing! Thing ain't in there!"
So they made the biggest, the most noticeable character missing.
Yeah. Thing ain't in there. And then it would cycle through, and a moment later, when it would say, you know,
answer,
the Thing, you would hear a bunch of people like going, "Yeah,
I knew it.
yeah, I got that one. I tell you what." You know, you friggin' retards.
That's ridiculous.
I'm serious. Why don't you just get one theater? It's like I said with the ball players.
How about one theater for Europeans only?
If you've got...
Thank you, Rob.
Rob is applauding that.
We'll call it the European Theater.
I had a breakthrough a couple of weeks ago.
It's like WW2.
That what you do with baseball is you get all your players that are on steroids and you put them on one team. You let them take the steroids and you let them compete. Same with drunks, same with drug users, same with everything. Now, in the movie theater, how about this? There's a 7:30 showing of Wedding Crashers. Why not say when you're buying the tickets, if you like to talk, go to Theater B. If you don't like to talk, go to Theater A.
Right.
What's the problem?
Yeah, I mean,
Hold on. Things that
they were. It was a big conspiracy.
listen, I don't know how they do things over in Poland or the Ukraine, wherever you're from, but shut your big pie hole.
Yeah, and then the other people were glad it wasn't directed at them and decided to pick on you.
Yeah.
The right-thinking American.
And the guy in front of me, all I can say is, "Sir, not everyone can wear a tank top." My friend, you really pulled it off.
Sure.
And to the woman that was sitting directly to my right with the two kids, I understand why he left you.
Oh, God.
That's all I wanted to say to all of those people.
A little belatedly, you thought about it all weekend.
Oh, you bet.
Could you have said that in the theater at the time? I mean, obviously, you didn't want to get jumped.
Too much going on.
No,
There's a movie playing.
Right.
You don't think that fast. And besides, they would never have the guts to say that to their faces.
Sir, you smell offensive.
Here's the one thing I did. Oh, Christ, we're late. I got a break so we can get a show in. I did hang around the lobby and thought, well, the movie's got like 40 more minutes.
Right.
What if I waited until the end one of these times and actually like just stopped one of these people and said, you know, "Hi, I work for a radio station," or, you know, "Can we get your opinion on the movie you saw? May we, you know, call you on the air?" I mean, one of these times.
After that happened, you'd have to go and get like a disguise.
Yeah, mustache.
You'd have to like go find like a ski cap, put a fake mustache on there. "Oh, hello, Linda. What do you think of it? Okay, what's your name and what's your address, sir? Okay, we'll be calling you Monday afternoon after 3 o'clock to find out how you really felt about the movie."
Anyway, that was the weekend.
Well, that's too bad.
I'm leaving out the best part, though. Hello, Don and Mike show.
Don, your theory's not going to work with the separating the people, because the people that like to talk they don't want to hear anybody else talking, but they want everyone to hear them, so they're going to go to the non-talking one.
No. The rule is if you talk, the rule is like in Los Angeles. If you talk in the non-talking one, you're thrown out.
The rule is no talking in the movies we go to now, and people do it anyway.
Doesn't anybody watch that fantastic clip with John Cryer?
How about a little, how about John Cryer? What a talent. How about a little Middle Eastern flavor there where you cut out their tongue? Yeah. If you speak in this theater, your tongue will be cut out.
Hello, Don and Mike show.
Just a piece of it.
Doing?
Hi.
Hey, Buzz, you're exactly right. That's why the movie ticket sales are down, because too many commercials, too many people talking, and that's exactly what's going on. That's why they're bitching about.
No, I think there's a
crappy movie.
Yes, thank you, Buzz. That's what I was going to say. A much greater reason.
But when I
don't go to the movies most of the time because there's such crap in the theaters.
But I'm getting tired of going to the movies, even for a medium, a movie that's on the cusp that you don't know whether you want to see it or not. But you go, what the heck? And then people are talking. That puts me off going back to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that really sucked. Yeah, I don't know if they're listening at the Rest in Town Center. I don't know what it's national amusement.
National. If they showed that John Cryer thing, it's national.
Can I just take a moment to tell you that I wanted that movie to be a brief respite from what I'm going through.
There you go.
Right. Cool.
Thanks, you asses.
Asses?
I don't want nothing from you. So
asses.
Don't send me free tickets.
No.
Or don't send me like free gummy bears. Just get your friggin' act together.
Would you like to change the name of the company to National Disappointments?
Yes, National Disappointments.
It's a Viacom property.
And you know,
that's right. We already got it.
And you know how I know it's owned by Viacom? Is that in between the slides with like Hillary Duff's name messed up, it was like big pictures of Kevin James.
Yeah.
Don't forget to watch The King of Queens.
There you go. Synergy. Synergy with their theaters.
Kiss my ass. Thank God there was football on, and so much football. Oh, Friday night and Saturday night, the NFL Network had this ADD thing where they would just go from game to game to game.
So you were able to digest as much as possible?
Yeah. Except they do this thing on the NFL channel where they're showing the games. The live game they were showing would only be like in 1/4 of the screen. And the rest of the screen is like full of garbage. But anyway, I'm not complaining.
It was football, and you were happy to see it.
It was football, and it was on all day. And it was
football.
It was on all night, and it was just what I needed. And the weekend really for me had one highlight, and that would be my Saturday morning call from Mike.
I called you Saturday morning?
Yeah, you did. And I would love to discuss that with you when we come back.
I called you Saturday morning.
You called me Saturday morning to tell me what you had done on Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of Mexicans. Anywho.
Sorry.
And speaking of Mexicans and whatnot, we'll be right back.
This is the Don and Mike Show. Is the Don and Mike Show.
Paul, Trey says he's never been fishing before. So can he and I take turns with my fishing pole?
All right. Better still, I'll let him have one of my poles, and then you can both have one.
Gee, thanks, Sheriff. You can let him use your pole, Paul? The big one?
Sure. But you all got to get some sleep. I know. One of you come in my room.
Okay, Paul.
Oh, no, wait a minute. You go, Trey. You stay in your own bed.
Wait a minute.
Trey gonna sleep in your bed, Paul?
Hey.
Don't worry about it. You'll see him first thing in the morning.
Andy.
I'll bring him in as soon as he dozes off.
He won't be the same.
Go to sleep.
Night-o.
Righto.
The Don and Mike Show. Something wrong about that.
Radio at the lowest price possible, consistent with quality. The Don and Mike Show.
Hey, listen, tomorrow on the show, Elvis is still dead. Yeah. I know a lot of you like our annual Elvis Death Day shows. And tomorrow, it's the return of Oma Peter. Oma Peter.
All right.
Yeah, what the hell. Tomorrow we'll be focusing a little more on the sexcapades of EAP.
Yeah, not exactly normal.
No.
My man.
Certain things got him going that wouldn't get the normal person going.
My main man, Elvis. That's tomorrow. Oh, and that reminds me. Rob's kids are great. Since Frida has passed away, I spent time over with Rob and his family, and his son Robert loves Elvis. I mean, this is like
cool.
I wonder where he learned this from. Ask him what he wants to watch on TV, and he says Elvis.
Elvis movies.
So he was over yesterday, spending some time with Rob and his family, and his kids. Really, Rob, you should exploit them more on the air because Julia that's Rob's daughter, almost 4. She was sitting in my lap, and we were just talking. She's telling me everything that's going on. And I know you heard this part. At one point, she just turned to me. She said, well, that's all I have to tell you. And I said, she talked for about 10 minutes, and I said, okay, well, that's cool. And then she just hopped off and went somewhere else. And then Robert wanted to watch Frankenstein and Wolfman.
One of his favorites.
He loves this movie.
That's his new hot one right now, Frankenstein
and Wolfman.
So he says, Uncle Don, why don't you watch Frankenstein Wolfman? So, this is great therapy for me to be with Rob and his kids. So I got little Robert sitting next to me, and Rob puts this, it's like, what is it, 1940?
Yeah, it's a 1940 or so movie. And it's really, even for those, this is a horrible one.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah. And the movie starts, and Robert is so funny. He grabs my finger, and he says, Uncle Don, don't be scared.
That's cute.
It was great. It was really great. And he stayed with it what he normally does, about 12 minutes.
Right.
Explained to Don that this is Talbot, but when the moon comes, Talbot's going to become the Wolfman.
The Wolfman.
And then he says, let's go upstairs.
Loses interest.
I appreciated that, because what Robert did was he just wanted me to see the beginning, to see what happens, and then, he said, forget it, Spider-Man.
Back to Spider-Man.
More modern.
Anyway, that's great, and thank you, Robbie. I appreciate
You're
that.
always welcome. The kids love when you come over. So.
Oh, and let me see. Oh, also, I got an update for you. 2 things I'm going to combine into one here before I talk about Mike's phone call. Nothing new on the number 3 front. Try it over the weekend. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Also, I found this weekend that I had some time to go on the intranet.
Yes.
And I know I shouldn't look at everything about my wife. But there were a couple of things that I did want to address. I know it's the wild, wild west, and who gives a frig.
Right.
But if you're going to go on, like, a site that I look at, like DCR-TV, and you're going to write something like it's disrespectful for me to talk about my number 3 problem and that it's not a mental picture that Frida would have wanted, and then you write that you were a friend of Frida's and you live in Connecticut. Listen, that's crap, dude. Frida didn't have any friends in Connecticut. If you're really a friend of Frida's and you think she would be offended by something I'm saying, why not call me? If you're really a friend of Frida's,
rather than put it up.
That pisses me off.
You're right about being Dodge City. That is the land of anonymity, and people put aliases in there all the time.
There were a couple of notes like that, and what you people don't get is, if you don't remember what I said on August 1st, it is a show. My wife had no problems with me talking about our sex life when she was alive. She would have liked this now. So listen, screw off.
Yeah.
But even more importantly, screw off. I did a Google search on my wife, and I went all the way back, there were 10 pages.
Sure.
So I go to the 10th page, and I'm not going to give out the name of the site, but on the day that Frida had died, someone went through, because you can find anything in public records, found her driving record, and posted her driving record and the fact she had had some speeding tickets on the Internet. Now, listen, that's, what I didn't dig is the fact that, again, my address is there. And then people get on, and the following messages, it's, why don't we send this guy condolence cards telling him he's a big jerk and it's a good thing his wife is dead. Then the next message is from somebody saying, why don't we wait a month to do it? And all I want to say is I looked into this, and I see that there's an
it is the land of bottom feeding.
To register on this particular, it says what your IP address is. And I know that you could go to a Best Buy and log in somewhere and do it anonymously. But I have some people who know some stuff about the Internet, especially you dicks that love posting my address. I'm going to find out your information. I'm going to find your information, and I swear on my wife's grave, I'm going to post your information on our website.
Why not?
And I'm going to see how you like it. So keep doing it. Keep thinking it's a challenge. Keep thinking you're going to be able to hide behind the Internet, because you're not.
It's amazing.
You understand? There's 2 levels of being pissed off. There's the one level, like with just the idiot that writes something to a mailbag, and it pisses me off because you're bringing my wife into this when you didn't know her, so screw off. But then you guys that want to do this other thing, and I love the sycophants that write afterwards, like, yeah, do this because he deserves it. He deserves it. Listen, you're entitled to your opinion. But my address is private, personal stuff. And to you people whose IP addresses I now have, trust me, the Fairfax County cops are tight with me. I mean, this ain't a threat. Anything happens at my house, I got a list of all you people that are posting my address, and I swear to Christ that's the first place I'm going. So just knock it the frig off.
Wow. It just weirds me out that people in this time would do that type.
Legally, I don't know what I can do about it. I'm told there's not much I can do about it. However, I have found some people who can help me find the people that are doing these postings.
That's right.
And I don't know if it's going to end up being like in that Silent Bob and Jay movie that I saw. I guess it's Silent Bob and Jay Strike Back, where they get mad at stuff people said on the Internet, and they end up going to the front door and saying, hey, are you the guy that said I'm a big faggot? Yeah. Pow! Just bam!
Bam, zoom.
How?
Okay, and Rob?
Yeah?
Too little, too late.
I'm sorry. I won't do it
Rob just handed me this note. Dear Don, I promise I'll stop. I'm sorry.
Why did you do that, Rob?
Too late.
Damage is done.
Said something.
Too late.
Amazing.
Forget it.
That
Anyway,
just shocks me.
Well,
I mean, I don't get shocked easily. Not after doing this show for as long as I've been doing. I get shocked by that. I get shocked by the stuff I read too. I really. You know, it really amazes me. It truly with everything that we have done over 20 years on this radio show, it truly amazes me when you don't have accountability, when you have people that can do things anonymously, what they do. It just blows me away. It truly does. Especially people that they do it almost for recreational purposes.
Yeah, listen, here's the thing that UMFers got to know. I mean, I've always been protective of my privacy because I love my family. Mm-hmm. The truth is, my son will be 21 right after the first of the year. He's already out of my house. He's an adult. The only person in that house right now is me. I'm not afraid of any of you guys, and this is not a threat, but I'm telling you, don't be doing this. Mm-hmm. Because now I don't have to worry about flipping out my wife because I'm talking about this. This has gone on for years with us. Mm-hmm. And I just want you guys to know that now I've had enough. I've really had enough. I'm going to find you. I'm going to find you, the original guy, the original ass on the day that when my wife died that had to go into the Fairfax County record books to find her driving record.
Wow.
So you could post her speeding tickets and post her address, my address, on the Internet. Mm-hmm. You know, legally that doesn't break any law. Morally, that breaks every law in the world.
Yep.
And I swear with God as my witness, I will smack your friggin' face when I see you. And you can sue me. I don't give a rat's ass.
That's amazing.
And if you'd like a lawsuit, why don't you be big enough to come down to the station and tell me you're the guy that did it? And I'll punch you in front of everybody, and then you can sue me. So stop being such a friggin' coward. And I swear to God, I'm going to find you people. This time I'm going to find you. Mm-hmm. You know.
There are people that know how to do that, and I know you know people that know how to do that.
Can be done now.
Listen, one thing I got a lot of time on, I got time on my hands now.
Sure.
I got calluses on my hands, I got time on my hands. I can do the Google
You won't have
search.
as much time once the other thing comes around.
I do the Google, I see the thing that pisses me off, and then finally I call the guy and I say, okay, I'm ready to talk to that Internet guy. Mm-hmm. You know, let me talk to the Magnum PI of the Internet.
Right.
I'm ready. Go here, go here, go here,
God,
go
that's
here.
A creepy way to live.
And let's find out.
Just to do stuff like that. Pretty
Let's
amazing.
find out.
To think that people get joy, and these people who do this get some kind of bizarre, twisted joy out of what they do.
That's the I've always said it is the land of the weird. It really is, and the land of the anonymous weird, which makes it when you're not held accountable. I mean, what the hell? What's to stop you from doing anything?
And I just want you jerks to know I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. I know more people will go on and do it now. And I urge anybody that goes to any of these boards, if you see someone doing that, listen, do me a favor. Cut me some slack. Turn these people into Yahoo or whoever it is. Tell them, they're giving out information. Yeah, it's public information. You can go look up information on anybody. But the point is, I do a radio show. I don't need weirdos coming by my house.
You don't need to get your hands dirty with those people, though.
At 1 o'clock in the morning.
Really, be honest with you. I'll make a couple of phone calls. I know those people, too.
We have friends, thank God.
Well, I know you do, thank God.
I mean, you can't really be in my secondary career.
I understand.
Without,
what are you
stumbling across nothing. I'm saying nothing. I'm saying absolutely nothing.
Mike pays protection money. It's much like the movie Casino, where they would all meet in Kansas City.
Yes.
Mike's mom cooks for everybody, where they come and they look at the books.
Right, exactly.
You don't have to look that far to find the mob in Manassas. Where they all end up.
Oh, my God.
So anyway, I'm sorry to get heavy about that, and I'm trying to keep it light, but boy...
part of me thinks when you're doing this, and I'm just speaking honestly here, that you're legitimizing those sons of bitches,
Listen, here's the thing. If I never mention it, no one will ever know how pissed I am.
Right, okay.
And if they get their rocks off knowing they're pissing me off, that's great, because I'm going to find you.
Yeah.
I swear to Christ, I'm going to find you, and all I'm going to do is exactly what you did. I'm going to do searches to find out where you live and what your phone numbers are and any other information, and I'm going to post them on our website.
Can be done.
And I'm going to say, this is a guy who did this to me, and then we'll see how you like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Good.
Not a threat, a promise.
Sure. Well, it's pretty low down. Low down and dirty.
That's all about that. And, one more thing I did want to mention has nothing to do with that. We have finally solved our Dick problem.
Mm-hmm.
Dick Eisen, as you know, was our NFL guy last year.
Yes.
And we had some learning curves with Rich.
Yes.
As far as the show and what's funny and what's not funny. And we parted ways, and I'm glad to tell you that we have come to an agreement with the great Chris Collinsworth, who is on HBO's Inside the NFL with Bob Costas and Fox NFL Sunday, and he's going to NBC when they get football.
Right. And he looks great in a turtleneck.
And listen, here's the main thing about this. And Mike, you can say that to him, because unlike Dick Eisen, Chris Collinsworth has actually heard our show.
Very good.
I am not saying he's a fan of it.
Right.
But he understands.
He knows the show.
The environment he's coming into.
Well, it'll be nice to break a new one in.
Yeah, so
it'll be a lot of fun.
That's something I look forward to. Beth Ann and I
I'm excited about that.
And the Muckety Mucks had a little meeting, like, the Dream Team. Because our first choice was Nancy, of course.
I thought Nancy was coming back.
Nancy can't, and boy, can I relate to this. I had a chat with Jim Nance. His dad is not well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's cutting down his time doing everything.
Okay.
So, I mean, the guy says that.
Yeah, sure.
What can I say? He said, I'll be glad to come on every once in a while. Just, my friends.
Yes. PGA Championship, Phil Mickelson.
And we love Nancy, but I think Collinsworth is a funny dude.
He's a tough guy, too. He can handle any situation.
Good. You can watch him on the HBO and Inside the NFL show with Bob Costas. He's outstanding. He's not afraid to say anything.
He's been doing it for a long time, too.
Anyway, he's a great guy. So that's good news. Chris Collinsworth is Rob. Chris Collinsworth. Now, why did you write this? We look forward to Chris Collinsworth and his legendary sense of humor.
I thought that would be a nice thing to put out in an official sense.
He's funny.
Yeah.
So me with the turtlenecks and you with that.
Yes,
what's going on here?
Legendary sense of humor.
I tell you, he is funny.
Loves puns.
He is. Hello there. Don and Mike show. Hello.
Don, how are you?
Hi, we're doing great.
Listen, on the website, and the guys that are screwing with you, I hate them too. I've got a website, and I just wanted to pass this on to you. When Frida's accident happened, my website, which happens to have articles about you and WJFK, my website started getting slammed big time, getting thousands of hits. And I went and backtracked it and found out the reason why. And, of course, I heard on the radio that day why. But
please get to the point, please.
Yes. What's the love of God?
If you want help finding these guys, there are some of us out here that'll be glad to help you.
That's nice.
That's true.
That's
nice.
Good, except I got the feeling that, you're kind of a stalker to begin with because you've got one of those sites.
Well,
but hold on.
There are good hackers and bad hackers.
Hello, Don and Mike show.
Like witches.
Hey,
Hello?
guys, how's it going?
Hey, what's happening?
Sorry I said that.
I didn't. Did you say something bad?
How you doing?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Okay. Look, I know this is going to sound a little corny, but I've listened to you guys for 20 years. I've maybe called you 3 times. And I love you guys. And I can find this guy in about 10 minutes if he gives his IP address, and you can avoid a lawsuit. I'll kick his ass.
Sir, don't worry. Trust me. I've already got the MacGyver of Internet on it.
Okay.
I called. Well, I can mention this. I can just mention because I'm not going to mention anything else. But the guy who hooked me up with the Internet guy,
right?
Is a famous Los Angeles broadcaster.
Very good.
Very good. Well, you don't want to tip that then.
Probably
That's
one of the best.
Has had some experience.
Okay. Very good.
Funny. Funny.
You know what I've been meaning to ask you?
What's that?
If you could exact revenge.
Would you?
Shut up. Would you? Shut up. I hate to say this. Rick Dees has been real nice to me.
I know.
Right?
I know.
That's good.
I know.
There you go.
It's weird. It's weird to pick up the telephone and, hey, 310. Who do I know in 310? Oh, hey, Don.
It's good to have friends.
Anyway, yeah, he's very nice, and he was a big help.
Good.
So that's that. Christ, I went on there. Oh, we didn't even get to Mike. Oh, let me just tell you. I promise when we come back, we'll talk about this.
Talk about what?
Mike has always been my buddy, but since Frida's passing, Mike's kind of stepped up and been more. I'm giving you a compliment here now.
Thank you.
Been more of a buddy.
That's great.
Meaning that, we talk more than we used to. And Mike is calling me always now. And it's great because he called just, how you doing? Do you need anything? And I appreciate that.
Of course.
He called me Saturday morning, 8 a.m., and I saw it was Mike on the caller ID, and I thought, well, this is nice.
He's still up.
Well, the thing I do now, I would always have a specific reason to call you before. Now, if I am thinking about you, which is often, I'm obviously not going to call you all weekend, but if I'm thinking about you and I just need to, it's more for me sometimes than it is for you, I will just call, I'll just call you up. And I know that you're an early riser, and
I was up.
I was feeling kind of goofy.
You were still drunk, I think.
I may have been.
Anyway, that's all. I'll just leave it right there when we come back. I'll tell you my version of the phone call, because I have many questions I want to ask Mike.
Right. Yeah, I might not remember my
about
version.
His Friday night.
Yeah, oh yes. So I remember a lot of what happened Friday night, which is a good thing.
And then there was the call that I missed when I was being yelled at in Wedding Crashers with Mike with the great last-minute invitation. This is Mike. This is so Mike. Hey, listen. We're going to Atlantic City in about 2 hours in a plane.
Right.
Call me right back if you want to go.
Yes.
And I was
that in fairness to me, on that one, that's how it was put to me.
I understand that. Yeah. I was in the movie. I was not, again, I appreciate the gesture.
Don't thank me. It was my buddies that mentioned you right off the bat, and then I went in, I got all excited, and I guess you heard that, the tone of the,
yeah, I did.
And I know I called Rob. I don't think I called Beth Ann. I was just trying to track you down.
And then the next call from Mike I got was on Sunday morning, because we hadn't talked on Saturday. He said, did you get, it was like this, did you get my message? And I said, yeah, I'm sorry, I was at the movies. I couldn't go to Atlantic City. How'd you do?
And I was tweaking it up as nice as I could, but I couldn't.
No.
I couldn't hide the bitterness.
Mike had the raspiness in his voice,
right,
and the anger in his voice, and he said it was great. It was.
I really like to just say F Atlantic City.
Yeah, no,
I really would. I'm done. I'm done.
He said, hey, we had a great time. We wish you were here. I talked to the guy, and then I hear, hey. F the Borgata. I mean it. No. I'm seriously, man. I'm serious. F the Borgata.
I like our guy up there. He couldn't be nicer.
Of course.
I didn't have anything to do with him, and maybe I should have.
There's your mistake.
That's the mistake. But everybody else,
F him.
I am so mad.
Well, when we come back, let's start Let's start with Friday night, because you weren't mad on Friday night. Well, no, I take it back. You were mad on Friday night.
I wasn't mad until
2:30.
No, I was mad at the place at the joint, and then when I got home.
Hank's Look Around Cafe.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Pretty good look into Mike's weekend. And I do appreciate those calls.
Yeah.
Hearing what you're doing.
I think the consensus is when I go to the cafe, I got to stay in second gear. I can't always get to sixth gear every time I'm in there, and that's the way it's been going. Well, overdrive.
Okay. Oh,
Rob.
Okay.
The sixth gear is when you're on the highway, you want to go a little faster.
Mike was overserved. On Friday night.
You should speak to your staff.
Yes, I know.
Oh, he did?
Yes, I did. That's why they overserved me.
He jumped behind the bar.
Yeah.
And screamed that he owned the place. Oh, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself.
That was to my managing partner, who I had to call and apologize to.
All right.
Oh, dear.
Well, listen, I'm going to love telling you this.
So many calls. Hey, the nice thing about the call to you?
Yeah?
That was the only call I made on Saturday where I wasn't apologizing to someone.
That's exactly what my phone sounded like.
I just know that I just figured I'd call you and vent.
Mike's
which
calling.
is what I did. I vented a couple of times to you. I know, I'm calling you to
That's okay.
support you, and I end up venting to you.
It's okay. I love the calls, and I would love the opportunity to dissect all of your calls when we come back.
Yeah, I gave you all the details. Now it's all coming back to me.
But there are a lot of holes there.
Yeah, I'll fill them in.
It's like a piece of Swiss cheese.
I'll fill them in as best I can.
Okay, we'll be right back.
This is the Don and Mike Show.
I'm beginning to get a little bit scared.
Tomorrow at 10, the Discovery Channel will ask you this question. How far would you go to unleash the wild man within?
Everyone said to me last night when I'm...
Don and Mike Show.
If you really want to test him out, why don't you try the old Jerry Lewis trick?
Jerry Lewis?
I heard when Jerry Lewis left a meeting, he'd purposely leave a briefcase with a tape recorder in it. Then after 5 minutes, he'd come back for it, listen to what everyone said about him.
That's pretty paranoid.
Yes, it is.
I like it.
The Don and Mike Show. You can call Don and Mike anytime from anywhere in America. 877-365-3636. They're ready to believe.
Right.
Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Your round trip ticket to happiness. Don and Mike.
Hi, Charlie.
Hello, Don.
Let's see, where is Helen Lejos?
Lejos.
Helen Lejos.
Helen Lejos.
Helen Lederhosen.
Vierish. The name is Lejos.
Helen Lejos.
Hello.
Hi, Helen. I didn't want you to think that I had forgotten.
What?
Have you called the guy to tell him?
It's going to be when I want to do it, and it's going to be face to face. It's not going to be over phone.
What, with his girlfriend there?
His girlfriend won't be there.
Ah, yes, that would be an error in judgment.
Good planning.
If you did it with his girlfriend sitting there, Miss Lejos.
Careless. You should be careful. A person can get killed that way.
I hope you weren't disturbed, Dr. Lejos.
It is perfectly right, my dear. Introduce me.
This is Miss Raymond, Mr. Young, and this is Wilbur.
Hello, Dr. Lejos. I've been looking for you all day.
Here she is, Helen Lejos. She's in love.
Helen Lejos.
Her panties are in a wad, in a royal wad.
Yes.
She's in love.
Helen Lejos.
I've tried to give her a direct order as her supervisor.
Yeah.
Call this man.
She's going to wait till it's face to face.
Yeah.
Face to face.
Never. I must warn you, my dear Sandra. I am accustomed to having my orders obeyed, especially by women with a price on their heads.
You hear that, Helen? That was for you.
I heard it. The price on my head.
All right, call that guy. Call him.
Right.
Call
Bye.
him now. Okay, bye.
Women with a price.
Bye.
On
Okay.
their heads.
Mike?
Yes, Don?
Let's start with the call.
Okay.
Which is Saturday morning, 8 o'clock. He says...
8:30.
Okay.
Was it 8:30?
It's closer to 8.
Really?
Yep.
All right. But,
It's,
how was I doing up at that hour?
And Mike was talking his Major Bill. I pick up on hello, and he said, hello, Don.
Hi, Don.
I said, hey. And you asked me what I was doing. I said I was, whatever I was doing. He said something. He said,
so what the hell is that in the background?
He said, do you remember saying, it sounds like you're doing a crossword puzzle? Now, what I was doing was, I've been to the grocery store.
That makes a lot of sense.
And I was unpacking groceries.
I'm gonna like put a check mark for things that I didn't remember I said that.
He said, it sounds like you're doing a crossword puzzle. I said, no, I'm just putting some groceries away. What's happening? And I sat down. He said, I want to tell you about my Friday night. I said I had a bad Friday night, a good Friday night, but a bad Friday night, and he knew that it would amuse me. He said, in no particular order, that he had yelled at many people at the Look Around Cafe.
Hank's Look Around Cafe.
Wow.
Told them that, God damn it, he owned the place.
Right.
And that if he wanted to get behind the bar and serve himself.
That was just my managing partner. That
Well, God damn it, he was going to do it.
Right.
And no one was going to stop him. And then he got home, and at about 2:30 in the morning, apparently there have been some day laborers who had been working in Mike's yard.
Yes.
And I guess the work was not done, and they still had the sign out saying that they were, like, doing his landscaping. Anyway, he...
well, they took the sign away.
That's what it was.
I had a bunch of stuff that hadn't been done, and some plants that had died.
Yes.
And it had been a long time, and I was fine because I know it's the heat of the summer, and you don't want to replace those during the heat of the summer.
Right.
What triggered it was when I saw that the sign had been removed. You know, the sign like, we've done the work here.
Right.
And to me, that was like total abandonment. It's like, oh, now that it looks bad, we're going to take the sign away. And I had a reaction.
Anybody that's had that work done knows that you leave the sign there like it's an ad for these guys.
Yeah, and the sign was fine when everything was new and shiny, but as soon as there's a little tarnish there, you know. So I took it extraordinarily personally.
And
much more personally than I normally would.
At 2:30 a.m.
Normal circumstances.
Mike called whoever the
owner,
the lead, Chewy.
No,
he's the guy's name.
He's not the Chewy. He's the owner of the company. And I I don't even remember what I said.
All right,
but
here's what
it
you
was
said.
negative.
You said to me, this is what you said.
Right.
You said, I got home, that sign is gone, and man, I called that MFer. And I said, I look out in my yard, and I don't see plants. I see weeds. I see your goddamn sign is gone. You suck. You're awful. This is my house.
Yeah.
Your work sucks. Your people suck. You take your sign, you shove it up your ass. It was something along those lines. And then Mike said, as he was calling me, amazingly, his yard was full of migrant workers who apparently had heeded the call from their boss man.
The way I understood that to be was, it was, I have a very good relationship with this person that after I spoke with you, was it before? Had I made the call to him before I talked to you or after I talked to you?
Well, you called him at 2:30 in the morning, and then
but I had to make another call. Because I had to call him later on in the morning.
Oh, well, no, then you called him after
that was
you
the
called
apology
me.
call that I had to make because it was. It's funny, Don, when I got a chance to reflect on things. I think that I had overreacted just a wee bit. So the apology call was necessary, followed by I don't think I apologized to the other guy that I yelled at in the restaurant until today. Because I had actually kind of apologized to him that night, but not really. But it was a follow-up. So there were two significant apologies that I had to do. And I don't like that. I don't like it when I have to do that. When it's completely necessary, though. And it was just... I don't know what it was. I just got a little crazy.
Was it Friday? What was Friday?
It was too much Friday evening, probably.
Just easy living? I mean, it was just Friday.
Just Friday. But Friday with, little things getting to me that normally wouldn't get to me. And, here's the deal. When I'm in my joint, there are certain things that you don't do. There's certain things I don't go here. I don't go there. I don't do this. I don't do that. And this guy who is my managing partner, my buddy Jeff, Jeff kind of looks out for me and make sure that I'm, that doesn't happen. And for whatever reason, I just got to, there was one time when I was getting, I had gotten instruction of not to go back there.
Going to serve yourself?
No, I didn't. I wasn't going to serve myself. This was early in the evening where I had gone to do a little light thing and, or I'd been back there and he said, don't go back behind the bar. And then later on, there was this guy that was kind of standing in the same area, who was just there. And I think that's when I snapped a little bit and said, it's my joint. I can go wherever the hell I want or something like that. And it was very obnoxious and very drunk.
And you made a very rude call to your landscaper
rude call to my landscaper.
Who then came out and
call to my landscaper he got the profuse apology the following day. Because I know him and I have a good relationship with him. Well, I did. And then here's the deal. I'm making the apology call.
Yeah.
And just when I get done giving my blabbering, rambling apology.
And how did you apologize to the guy? You said, can you call him at 2:30 a.m. on a Friday night to tell him that you don't like your landscaping?
Yeah.
How did you apologize?
I apologized by saying I'm really sorry. And I was, of course. And I think that, yes, I was completely sincere. And then he was responding to my apology, and just when that happened, his phone cut off.
Oh, dear.
And it was positive, but I didn't get it.
You didn't hear it?
Because it was all right, listen, I really do appreciate, but normally you can say that, and I really do appreciate you calling, but if you ever call me at that hour again, I'm going to stab you in the heart with an ice pick. That's normally the way something like that goes.
Uh-huh.
And then, for whatever reason, after very, very little sleep and some bad eating, my girlfriend and I enjoyed some very bad eating in the wee hours. And I'll tell you something. I don't know if anybody else experiences this. I have lost 26 pounds on my diet.
Very good.
And I've been eating extremely well. And this is very rare for me now to do this because it's the worst possible thing. I'm done with all my calories and all my food by the time I'm going out for the evening. I don't do the go out like so many people do and then you go out for breakfast. We did it this particular Friday, and I had I don't know if anybody's ever gotten acid indigestion like this. It's the kind of acid indigestion that wakes you up because you're gasping for air because you're choking because it's burning so bad.
Like your acid reflux?
It's the reflux. Yeah. And it's, this food. I am the god of hellfire. This food. I bring you Michael Mira. Oh my God. This food was introduced into my system. And because it's been so long, and I've been eating so well, It awakened me, and I bolted up in bed and just started choking, just going,
Been there.
And then I was up after that, and this is like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I called you right after that.
Now, you mentioned your girlfriend.
Yes.
Here's a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that she's around when you're, like, calling the landscaper at 2:30 a.m.?
She was standing right next to me.
Okay. What does she say to you when you hang up the phone?
Stop.
No.
Untie me, Mike, right now.
I don't know. She didn't say anything other than, we had been concerned about this, and she didn't say really anything judgmental, which is probably the key to the success of the relationship.
That's good for your relationship.
She really didn't make any judgment call on it until the next day, and I think I said, do you think I should call him? She said, yeah, it might be a nice idea for you to call him up, but kind of low-key, because she knows one thing about me, that if I'm an ass in that particular circumstance, nobody knows that he's been an ass more than I do the next day, and I have to, and I hate it, because I know I'm an ass, and I can't live with it, and I wish I was I sometimes almost wish that when I was an ass that I could wake up the next morning and not have to, like, build bridges where the bridges have been, like, nuked.
I think the funniest moment was you were telling me all of this, and I was laughing, and you said, I had a lot to drink last night. I said, yeah, well, you saw. And then you said, well,
it's no secret that I've been compensating for, this is like the third or fourth time on a weekend where I've gone all day.
The funniest thing is, you said, real seriously, you said, I think I might be drunk still right now, but I knew you would appreciate hearing this story about how I acted last night.
I know that in my moments when I'm like that I knew that it would bring you joy. Mm-hmm. I knew that you would feel great joy hearing, because nobody enjoys me behaving like an ass more than you do. You always have for 20 years, and I figured, I love it. When normally I would try to, just to let it go. Now I'm going to share. I'm going to share those moments.
That's what I love about you. That now you're going to let it hang out there,
and more to come. I'm sure.
Wow.
I'm sure more to come. But I am really, I'm getting to a point where I got to pull the reins in ever so slightly, and I figured out how to do it.
Really?
Yes. Oh. Yeah. I'm not going to do it by just saying, hey, I'm not going to have a drink when I go in there. I'm gonna cut back. That cracks me up. Cut back. That's a sweet one, isn't that, Rich? Cut back. No. Here's the key. I'm going out later.
There you go.
I'm going out later.
That's good.
I'm going out later, and just on pure time.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
that makes perfect sense.
You go out later.
That's genius.
Well, the one time, the one time when it was really, really bad.
Yeah.
Like the whiskey time. That was when we were off that day.
Oh, yeah. That was like a daytime.
That was a daytime, and that was like at noon. Yeah. And that was why that.
So what's the new time to go out now then? What was the old time? The old time would be after 8 o'clock?
No, 9:30ish. Probably go out about 9. Go home, have dinner, relax a little bit, maybe take a shower, get ready to go out, get there about 9:30.
So what's the new time now?
10:30.
It could make the difference.
You're sacrificing a whole hour of drinking time.
Yeah, but it's the first.
You don't want to. It's baby steps. You don't want to. Well, I don't want to just completely.
Do you know a guy named Henry?
Henry who?
I don't know. Henry Hill?
No, I don't.
I don't know.
Is it the guy from the comic strip?
It says he was with Mike Friday.
Hello.
Hello, Henry.
How you doing tonight?
Oh, Henry.
I don't know you, Henry. I don't know a Henry.
You might know me better as Henrietta from Friday.
Nope.
Henrietta? No.
Henrietta?
Don't know you at all.
Yeah, you took me out to Hank's Rich Round Cafe.
Okay, all right.
He's a comic.
I thought we had a real guy there who had, perhaps
I know all the names.
Shared some special moments with you.
All the names. No, usually the customers are spared. That. Occasionally not, though.
Hey, we applaud that.
The customers are spared.
Isn't that on the crest? Occasionally.
When you go to Mike's bar, the customers, generally speaking,
don't get yelled at.
Are spared Mike's drunken anger.
The thing, you can't do that. You can't do that and stay in business. You'd be out of business if you did that.
We spare the customer.
I usually stay in my little circle of friends, and I'm usually pretty jolly with everybody. And in fact, the managing partner, my buddy Jeff, who's one of the guys that helps run the place, that's very, very rare also. That's extremely rare. The thing thing with the landscaping guy, I've had a wonderful working relationship with him, too. These are two people. Here's what made this night so unique and made me want to call you. These are two people that normally... would not be the last guys in the world that I would direct my ire to. And I don't know why that happens. And maybe some of the finest shrinks, psychologists, psychiatrists in the world will be able to explain to me why that happened.
I've had those nights, too, where you wake up and you're still drunk the next day, and I don't think it's fair. I think there should be some sort of agreement where if you get a full night's sleep, you should be able to start with a clean slate, no matter what you do.
My problem was I didn't get a full night's sleep because I think we probably turned in about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
If you were calling the landscape guy at 2:30 and then you're calling me at 8.
I think there should be.
That was as a matter of fact, and after I talked to you, I was not in the condition I thought I was. I was actually in better. I think I was maybe a little bit, but I recovered very quickly. But then later in the day.
You recovered quick enough to 5 hours later call me and say, I'm flying to Atlantic City right now. Do you want to come?
Now, under normal circumstances, if somebody had said, hey, you want to drive up there, you want to go there, I probably would have said no, because I was tired. We were both very sleep deprived. But this golden opportunity presented itself with my buddy knocking on the door, my buddy Owen, and I want to thank Owen and Alan for this, because this was a last-minute thing. And it was so last-minute, I mean, it's just like, get your stuff, throw it in a suitcase, we're going up, we're coming back the next day.
Right.
And can you get a room? And can you get a room for everybody? And that was my job, so I'm doing that, tap dancing like I've never tap danced before, trying to get these hotel rooms. And I found out I got one that they were more than happy to give me because I've been up there and gambled.
Right? Yeah.
And
you're a big-time loser up there. They love you there.
And the second one, not big enough, Don. I'm not a big enough loser.
Oh, really?
I found that out the hard way. And then the second room, they had what's called a casino rate, which is like $100 room.
Right.
And they're lovely rooms up there at this place. Yeah. And then for the guys that fly the plane, you wanted to get them, I didn't want everybody bunking in the same room.
Right.
So I needed a third room, and they said, we appreciate you losing thousands of dollars when you come into this casino, but you just haven't lost that much where we can let you have that room for anything other than the weekend rate. I said, oh, okay, well, what's the weekend rate? $400.
Wow.
$400.
Yeah. That's nothing, though. I mean, compared to the amount of money you lost gambling.
You understand my anger, right? You understand the fact that I'm mad. That I would think that because I lost that much,
but at that point,
I lost what I told you I lost in the office before.
But here's the thing. Had you lost the amount that you lost on Saturday night when you were trying to get the free room, did they know that you had already...
From the last time I was there? Yeah, here's the problem. I hadn't been since January because after I had that horrible weekend, the weekend of the big loss,
right?
I hadn't been back in a while, and they noticed that. They said, well, you haven't been here in a while. See, we realized that the last time you were here, you were hemorrhaging money. Remember, you were in the fetal position in the lobby of the hotel, bleeding from all orifices. But the fact is, you haven't done that in a while, so we're not going to be able, even though you're coming up to do it again, we're basically saying. And after that, I actually went to the people there, the casino host type of people, early in the morning because we were leaving. I called you when we
Sunday morning,
we were leaving very, very early.
Thank you for coming.
And so here's the solution. They said, well, based on the play, I said, I know. I understand that I haven't been here in a while, but I mean, I'm saying I came up with these people. They played the games. They lost some money. I was just thinking maybe that we could get that little consideration. You hear about... All I'm ever told is people that gamble a lot less get a lot more. And here I don't get that, and I was pissed off. So she said, well, you'll have to have it reviewed by one of the directors. I said, oh, what time do they get in here? Oh, they said 9 o'clock. I said, well, I'm leaving at 8 o'clock. And then the silent, the look, the silent look that you get in the movie Meet the Parents when he's at the counter and the lady's at the computer that works for the airline. That's kind of the look. And I didn't call. You know what I didn't? I didn't call our buddy. I didn't, because that's abusing the friendship. I only wanted to talk to him about one thing, and that was it. And just to say hello. I wasn't going to abuse that. I would think that just based on the fact that I'm such an amazing loser, that I would be able to have gotten that. And I also popped for dinner. For everybody.
Mike did lose a lot of money on AC on Saturday night.
Plus, you add that, you add...
I would think that they would take that into consideration.
Think that maybe, one of the things they'd be able to, and even knock it down a little bit, but no, I mean, it's really, that just sucked.
Do you think that they would have treated you better if you had lost less but more often?
Yes.
It's the fact that you haven't been up there.
I think so, Rob. I don't know all the details. I think it's about frequency. Yeah. I think if you're there, the people that they kiss ass to, in my opinion, are the ones that are there every other weekend, or in some cases, really. I know that the people that make it their primary destination every weekend,
or who
and they're there. Yeah, and if you're losing less, but you're doing it more frequently,
so then
I think that's it.
You're really sad when you had to go get on that private plane that your friend owns.
No, that was the happiest.
That was
the golden boy.
That was the happiest.
Right. Listen to him complaining here about how he couldn't get a room for free. Meanwhile, he drops more
the golden boy
in one night than everybody out there is going to pay on their house this month. He's Mr. What? I can't get this room for free.
Well,
even though I've spent all right. I guess I'll go get on my Don Imus private jet now and fly back home.
It ain't mine.
Bye-bye. I know you borrowed it. I mean, they asked.
It's him.
But still, come on.
I'm not paying for that.
Come on, you didn't get on 95 and drive up there. That was the great thing. You got on a plane and a half hour later.
And strangely enough, that put me in a much better mood. Sure. That put me, but really, what if I had driven up there? Because, I mean, the take everything else, it's all incidental. It seems to me that everything I always hear. Look, I met a guy one time in Las Vegas that told me there are systems on how to get things. I don't know. I don't do this enough to know all these systems where you can get the freebies that everybody gets. I don't know how to do it.
Listen, you don't like talking about the amount of money, but I'm telling you, with the amount of money you lost,
don't you think?
This weekend, I would just go to the front desk and say, "Hi, my name is Mike. Check my card. I lost $1,000 this weekend."
They do. They go into the computer. You give them your card. They go back and they said, "I'm sorry, we can't do anything for you."
How about a free room? And then they say no, and they say, "Well,
they gave me one.
I'll go get on my private jet."
The golden boy.
They gave me one. And it's not mine. Please stop saying it's mine. You're making me sound like
I'm my friends. I'll go get on my friend's jet.
That I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that if it was
I know you can't.
If I had to pay for it.
I know you can't.
I can't.
I know you can't.
I can't. Not with the gambling losses.
I know.
It's impossible with the gambling losses.
Calling the lawn guy at 2:30 a.m.
There was a lot of life lived over the weekend. It was very stressful in a way. Slept like a baby yesterday.
How could it be stressful?
Well, the stuff on Friday night was stressful.
Hello, Don and Mike show.
I was very upset.
What, getting drunk, yelling at people?
I was very upset.
With the golden boy standing by on the sidelines.
I was upset that I don't like to do that to
people. Don and Mike show.
I don't.
That's too funny.
Makes me sad.
It's like the day after the guy on Cops. I don't like doing that to my wife. I mean, I know it's not the same thing, but you're funny. I don't like doing that.
I didn't enjoy that at all.
Hello, Don and Mike.
Don and Mike?
Yes.
Hey, buddy. When you're doing it all wrong, what you need to do is you need to get rated when you go to the casino.
Yeah, of course I get rated.
Okay, Mike
knows
rated.
that. But I play the stupid slot machines, too. So
the golden boy is in the spotlight, and that's just where he likes it.
I put the card in where, I mean, they literally know every nickel
step
that you're gambling.
What's the trick? You got to get to know the pit boss. What you do is you take like $1,000 and you put your card down on the table, and then you change in for $1,000.
Mike, can't you listen to this high roller?
No,
the way that he handles it?
Yeah.
Okay, goodbye. Thank you.
No, it's like I mean, maybe that's why I don't pay attention to those guys. Remember the guy that came in, the blackjack guy that was telling us what to do and what not to do, and he said, here's how you get all these freebies. Right. And, it's just like listening to the instructions on putting together a stereo. It's like, it goes in one, and I shouldn't say stereo cabinet. It goes in one ear and out the other.
Hold on, GB. We got a break. We'll be right back.
This is the Don and Mike Show.
Get ready for the dog days of summer. A whole night of dog on A&E. Plenty of grilling.
You are hiding her. You're a liar.
Lots and lots of hunting.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
And some vacation nookie.
She just gets all excited when I do an arrest.
Dog the Bounty Hunter Dogathon.
It's the ultimate DOG.
Braddock, WURP Braddock. Pittsburgh's new talk radio station is 1550 The Edge. The Edge. Is the Don and Mike Show.
Quick plug, all right, Mike LaFontaine.
owner and founder of High Class Management. Whoops! Comics Constant Companion. Let's start right out. Hey, what happened? As you know, back in 1970, I started on a series called What Happened? And every time something would go wrong, I would look at the camera and say, hey, what happened? We had a lot of fun with that and a lot of other catchphrases. I got a real red wagon. And I can't do my work. And I believe I was the first one to use the phrase, I don't think so.
Right.
But it only lasted a year, and that's good because that's how you establish a cult.
The Don and Mike Show.
This house is so gone crazy.
Sure has.
Princes of Peace. Don and Mike.
Right, here we are, and Don and Mike Show. You're on the air. Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
You've already covered this topic, but I just now was able to get to a phone. I have some pretty interesting Internet IP information for you. At least I think it's interesting.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Give me one moment. What, Mike?
I stacked the water bottles up.
Hey,
Rob was trying to balance them, and I balanced them.
That's very impressive.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Mike's got how many water bottles stacked on top of each other?
2.
Way to go.
It was hard.
So,
pile of water.
I had some research done here during the break. Thank you, everybody that went to the Internet. Now, I'm looking on this site, FairfaxUnderground.com.
Right.
And the guy who originally got on the site the day that Frida died and posted her traffic record and my address, his name, at least on this board, is R.S. Hold on, I gotta get my glasses. I think they call this bastard out.
Rob Spieway?
R.S.T.I.D.M.A.N. Now, who knows if that's a real name or not?
Right.
That's what it says, and it notes next to it IP logged. Here are, I went to page 6 of this thing, and he wrote this on July 26th to somebody named Jonathan. I mean, there's like 8 pages in this thread. Jonathan, if you had bothered to read this thread, you would see that I posted Frida's arrest/ticket search results. They had her home address in them. Then it goes down, people writing, I miss Frida. Then let's go back to R. Stidman, who writes 2 days later on July 28th. Because people are writing that they feel badly about Frida.
Right.
I find a lot of humor in your notes. Don isn't going to read this crap. If he ever had the first effing inclination to do so, he's in a ridiculous drug and alcohol-induced stupor. Wow.
That's right.
As I would be. Hell, will be. He can't comprehend your half-assed well-wishing. I tell you what I can comprehend, dude, is the fact that you put my address on the Internet.
Yep.
And you violated my privacy. Now, let's move on down, because he gets called on this again.
Sounds like a disturbed individual, too.
He gets called on this again. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna scroll back down, and let me see. Now it says Lucy writes on August 1st. This was the day that I got back. When he said someone on the net posted his address, was he talking about this site? Now, as it turns out, I wasn't. I was talking about another site, but I found this one later. And then he writes back again. Actually, Fairfax County was the one that posted the address on the web.
No.
He should be going after them. Well, you listen. No, they didn't. No, they don't. So then we go down a little farther, and I'm looking again for anything from this guy. Let me see. Then we have... Don invited Fairfax County to post his address by getting arrested. Okay, everybody knows I got pinched for pot.
Right.
7 freaking years ago.
Yeah, and you talked about it at length on this radio show.
Okay, you gotta really want to find out a lot about me, and you gotta really want to be a stalker to find out where I live.
Got a lot.
If you're gonna find your information that way. Then people write more nice stuff about Frida, and then the guy continues.
So this is the one guy that's, more than anybody else, putting this negative stuff out there.
Right.
He's the first guy who went to whatever Fairfax County site it is that you can go to find out.
Well, he acknowledges that when you read that
he writes,
post.
If you had bothered to read this thread, you would see I posted Frida's arrest/ticket search results. They had her home address in them. And what I'm saying is, pal, your time is up. I want everybody listening to the show to go to the site, fairfaxunderground.com, and find this guy, R. Stidman. It says IP logged, so all of you Internet people should be able to find out who this bastard is. And let me know. I'd really appreciate it.
That's great.
Because I don't care if I got arrested 7 years ago and there's some paper somewhere that has my address.
He contradicts himself because he says in his own message that he got the address from her driving record.
And when you go
That's what he did.
When you go all the way back to page 1 of this thread, and I know it's the Internet, but it's just something that's just rubbing me the wrong way.
Of course.
The address is taken out. Someone removed it. And then there's like 5 pages of witty banter between this guy and other people saying, you're a jerk for posting this, and this guy saying, well, it's public information. Dude, so's your address. I'm going to find you now, you son of a bitch. And I want everybody seriously listening to go to this site, and let's find out who this guy is.
Good idea.
He cannot hide behind the Internet. And if at fairfaxunderground.com you have his IP logged, as he's a regular user of your site and loves posting my home address, why don't you get a hold of me too? Because I'd like to talk to the people at Fairfax Underground as well. There has to be some accountability for this.
Yeah, it really is dodge. And, you know, going through the show to do this, this is not a regulated business. And this is all we got. So, I mean, we're just going to find out. I think it's a good idea. Especially with, regardless of what he says. His actions as far as posting that, the insensitivity of that is ridiculous. You want it's legally, you said it before. Not legally, morally. I mean, come on, give me a break.
And really, then if you read the pages afterwards where, people write, well, now that we've got his address, send him a condolence card and tell him he's an ass, and tell him, we're glad his wife is dead and everything. Hey, listen, like I said, you can write whatever you want, but it's that one guy, R. Stidman, who posted all this stuff and was such a computer whiz that he's sure in this information society that he can find out anything and post anything. Hey, dude, you're on my list right now.
Good.
And I want you to be on the list of everybody listening to this show, and especially you computer freaks out there. And all you idiots that go to all those message boards that I rag about all the time.
We got some calls from people that were, said that they're in the know as far as, finding this information out.
There you go.
You've certainly let them know where to find it.
That's where you go. So let's find this guy. I'd like some information on this guy.
Sure.
What I would like is the opportunity to talk with this guy. And I mean not on the radio. I want to talk to this guy one-on-one. And I want to say, what is your friggin' problem? My wife died in a car crash, and you got to post her traffic stuff and my home address on the Internet.
And then make a comment about you. You wouldn't even read anything on that site about the people that are sending nice messages about your wife because you'd be in some drug or alcohol-induced haze.
Well, I'm not, and I wasn't, and I had the time over the weekend, and I looked at just about everything on the Internet. And that's the one that pissed me off.
Sure.
The most. And I know you're out there listening. And I'm going to get you. I swear to Christ, I'm going to get you. I'm not going to be like one of these celebrities going, oh, poor me, the paparazzi. No. This is one idiot guy who thinks he can get around this. And you can't, dude. You really can't.
He clearly has an agenda, and now you do, too.
You bet your ass up.
Good luck, and let us know how it turns out.
I will. So you there on the phone. Mr. Internet, did you hear that?
Yes, I did. And I've got a real useful tip for you, I think.
Now, you know what? My advice would be, your useful tip would be...
Why don't you do it yourself?
I would basically use useful tips off air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because really,
that'll make them
if he's sharing a useful tip and somebody can, No,
I mean...
This is the land of the sneaky tip.
If you want to be a help... You do.
This is one that everybody can help you with.
Oh, forget it. I don't want
these guys.
I appreciate it
when we bottom feed with these guys.
But no thanks. I mean, there's enough people out there with the Internet.
It's all about, here's what I can do. Let me tell everybody.
And I know I'm being nitpicky, and it's just the Internet, and it's a site not a lot of people would go to. But the reason that I brought it up is when you Google it, I mean...
No, you want to talk to the guy. You want to tell the guy off. That's what you want to do. That's all you want to do. I mean, come on. Let's be honest. That's what you want to do. And, I hope you get an opportunity to do that.
I want to say to the guy, listen, how do you like it? And then I do want to put this guy's information on our webpage because he's a public person now.
That's right.
Because of what he's done. Because he posted on the Internet, and I'm talking about the fact that he's done it. He's now in my arena. He's a public person now. That's all I want to do. And I don't want anybody calling up and saying, well, Don, you give out people's phone numbers, because you know what? No, I don't. Because we got sued for that, and we don't. And on the occasion I get mad, I give out someone's phone number, they delete it out. It never gets on the air.
I think the greatest satisfaction you will derive is if you get the guy's information and you talk to him.
Mm-hmm. And trust me, it will be a face-to-face meeting. It will be a face-to-face meeting. Because his first post was on the day of my wife's death. Some rat bastard's got to do a search and post that. Dude, you're lower than any scum we've ever talked about on this show before. And it's personal. This is not like me yelling about DCR-TV or any of those other things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody out there, this is the guy, that's the place to go. Okay? Thank you. Hello, Don and Mike Show. Hello.
Hey, this is Ryan.
Yes, Ryan.
Hey, I'm offering up some help for you. I have two friends with the U.S. Marshals.
It's no help for any of these people calling by sharing this on the air, sir.
Then do it. Then call Tommy Lee Jones and
Will Smith
and call.
We'd like a hard target search for this.
That's for aliens.
You want to call Tommy Lee Jones and Joey Pants?
That's
right. And Tommy Lee, rocker Tommy Lee,
hard target.
Who should go over and they go, wake up!
That's who you want to call, really. Hello, Don and Mike Show.
Don.
Yes.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, these guys are so good on the net. He's probably only about 9 years old, working out of his mother's basement.
Well, then great. Then bring the little bastard to me, although he's not a little 9-year-old.
Bring him to you.
He's not a little 9-year-old. He's a grown-up man who deserves to have his ass beaten 5,000 different ways by me.
Oh, I agree. I'm not doubting it.
Thank you. Well, thanks for not doubting me.
He agrees.
Thanks for acknowledging I'm not just making all this up.
This is not just an elaborate hoax.
Yeah. Thanks for not doubting me.
A crazy, kooky, elaborate hoax.
I hold your trust in such high esteem. Hello, Don and Mike Show.
Hello.
Yes.
Don.
Yes. What?
I was the one brought up. I wasn't sure I was on. Hey, listen, there's a website you can go to.
Oh, shut up. Listen, everybody. Do you get what I'm saying? Listen, you get what I'm saying. You're all just people that just want to help. There's a million sites. I already called the guy anyway. I already called the guy in California who's the MacGyver of this. But, you know, listen, let's get our listeners involved.
Sure.
I'm really not afraid of these people who want to do this. I had been afraid for the longest time because I had been concerned about my family's privacy.
Sure. Right.
Well, now it's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just me in that house.
Good. Okay.
So
Good.
Come on. Bring it on. Hello, Don and Mike Show.
Hello, baby.
Yes, hello.
Hi, how are you? I just want to give you guys a big pat on the back. Both of you and everybody deserves a big pat on the back. You give great entertainment over the radio waves, and I just want to call and say I love you.
Have you, and I'm pretty close to this, have you been drinking?
Oh, yes, she has. Yeah.
Come on
it's
now.
my get off. Today's Sunday.
Yes, absolutely, she's bombed. This chick is bombed.
I don't
condone it. I do not condone it.
Good for you, GB.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I love you.
What are you drinking this afternoon? May I guess? Hold on. Don't tell us. I'm going to turn your voice up. I'm going to guess something with Captain Morgan.
I'm going to say something with vodka.
Buzz.
Some kind of wine cooler.
Robbie?
I'll say beer. Sir.
What?
Miller Lite.
Miller Lite. Rob Spiewak is the big winner.
Rob's the winner.
Not just any beer.
I'm laying in the sun in my bikini, and I'm listening to you guys, and I appreciate your entertainment.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, baby.
No, thank you.
Is it by any chance a string bikini?
Is it topless time?
No, it's not topless time.
Yeah. Is it ever topless time, really?
Once in a while.
Who's the celebrity you most resemble?
I would say Holly Hunter with red hair and thicker lips.
I would say probably Jane Pauley.
I would guess Phil Mickelson.
All accurate. All right, Phil. See you later.
Love you. Thank you.
I'll stick with that one.
Love you long time.
I'll stick with Phil Mickelson.
Can you
Holly Hunter with bigger lips.
Yeah.
I'm not digging it. Not digging it, guys.
Hello, Don and Mike Show. It's like Barbara Hershey. If Barbara Hershey's lips were on...
Those aren't the lips.
You remember the Hoosiers, Barbara Hershey, and then she turned into the Beaches, Barbara Hershey?
Yeah.
Somebody that was the first big collagen experiment?
Yeah, but those aren't the lips she was discussing.
Hello, Don and Mike Show.
I didn't know Holly Hunter did those kind of movies, Rob.
Yes, she does.
Wow. Hello. Watch the piano. It's not just Harvey Keitel.
Yeah.
See everything.
But him, too.
Hello, Don and Mike Show. His lips?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello there. How are you guys?
Hi, we're doing great, thank you.
Doing good. Okay, I was just wondering if I could talk to the radio gods about the new show that's out on Showtime, Weeds.
Right. They would normally take this call, but they said anyone so stupid that they did not know that they were on the air would be hung up on immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Have you seen that show?
I'm so sorry. I've seen it.
It's about Mike's gardener.
I saw one last night, the replay of a show on FX called Starved. That I laughed out loud. When you talk about, when you've got a show that deals in great detail with colonic irrigation, including a woman having a relationship with a guy where she gets mad at him because he doesn't want her to do the colonic irrigation.
Right. Yeah.
And she keeps the faucet on. And she gets mad at him. And
I'm thinking about Marilyn Monroe right now, those enemas that she had at the very end.
This is all about the erotic nature of this.
This is Robert the Mailman.
FX, they can go like over the top, and they can actually they can tackle the subject a little bit better than, say, if you were watching it on CBS or the Fox Network.
I feel like they're going to have the enema special on CBS. Although, you know,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It fits the audience profile, though.
But, you know, it's not quite HBO or Showtime, you know, because they really can't use the same language. But at the end, when when he pisses the lady off that's administering this and says, "Hey, I want you to stop doing this because what you're doing is, you know, you're really offering sex to people." She goes, "No, I'm not. I'm closer to a doctor than I am a sex worker." And she gets mad. She goes, "Okay, fine. Don't, you know, deal with it." And she leaves the water on as it's filling him up.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, come on, come back here. Hey, come back here." Come back. And then it's the scene. He jumps off the table, and he's crawling along the floor, and you've got this stream going out. And he actually crawls out into the waiting area. And you see
the water coming out?
Yeah, the people are getting soaked with the water.
It just doesn't get any better than this.
It's like the water wiggle.
Very, very unique show.
It's like the water wiggle coming out of his bottom.
It was incredible. And it was going up high, which was hysterical. And he's there with the hospital gown on. It was hysterical.
Well, that's why we have FX.
Yes.
That's why there is that channel, Channel 247, I believe it is. Got a break. We'll be right back.
This is the Don and Mike Show. This is the Don and Mike Show.
Did you just feel it, Harry? It's our big chance, man. All we got to do is show a little class, a little sophistication, and we're in like a dirty shirt.
That's no problem, Lloyd. We can be classy and sophistical. Look at the fun bags on that hose hound.
I'd like to eat her liver with some Farber beans and a nice bottle of Chianti.
Come on, let's go get a couple of bowls of loudmouth soup.
The Don and Mike Show.
They are not going to ruin your goddamn day of joy. The Don and Mike Show.
Hey, tomorrow is a show everybody loves every year. It's the annual Elvis Death Day show.
All right.
We'll start with the TCB motto. We'll have all of the tapes for you.
Good.
We'll have the Elvis rip your throat out, rip your tongue out.
By the Roots, that wonderful piece of tape. We're going to have like the items that he had in his house and his kit.
By the goddamn Roots.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, we'll have who's it? Polish guy? What? That guy, Elard?
Elard Pilarm. He's Swedish, the Swedish impersonator.
Right, and we have a brand new angle this year.
Okay.
We're also, besides all of the great tapes and the stories, and we're going to go more into sexually retarded Elvis.
Yes, Elvis had some interesting sexual habits.
On tomorrow's Elvis extravaganza. But, Rob, we have a new angle this year, and it involves tribute songs.
My vast collection of the tribute songs that came out when Elvis died.
Really?
Now,
They're really good.
You might remember, I believe the best of the crop would probably be The King Is Gone by Roddy McDowell. Ronnie, I'm sorry.
Ronnie McDowell.
Because the king is gone.
Roddy McDowell was my friend Flicka.
There's also a nice small subset of how sad Christmas is going to be without Elvis.
Yes.
They're all very, very good.
That's tomorrow. It's all E, all the time. And if you're all very good tomorrow, Mike and I will do everybody's favorite bit.
Yes.
Elvis to Elvis.
Oh, please.
It is an American classic brought to you by two of your national treasures.
We've got nothing but positive feedback.
People love it.
Every time we do that.
Oh, God, I'm laughing already.
Hey, B.A., Helen. B.A., bring me that paper you just brought me. And then, you got it? Thank you. Can you grab me that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah? Okay. Boy, do we have good listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we do.
Already hit pay dirt?
Yeah. This guy this guy, incidentally, Beth, and I hope you can dig what I'm saying about this. The Internet is not regulated,
right?
But I don't dig this, that the guy posted my address and Frida's driving record.
You mentioned not a legal issue, a moral issue.
Right. Anyway, as it turns out, this place, Fairfax Underground, wouldn't give us the guy's IP, but, people gave it to us. And as it turns out, hey, guess what? This fella's had a few traffic citations himself.
Oh, interesting.
Failure to obey stop sign.
Oh, that's bad.
Failure to obey stop sign.
That's really bad.
License plate improperly fastened or covered. Driving on a suspended license. HOV violation. And also has this gentleman's name and address.
Well, I believe a conversation is forthcoming.
Isn't that interesting?
The pattern of enforcement would lead us to believe he feels he's above the law.
Well,
that's funny.
Actually, gosh.
Look at the kinds of violations.
And
everybody speeds.
What I'm reading right now is actually a posting that he wrote himself that was posted on July 12th on this very site where he is posting his own traffic tickets and his address.
Really?
Yes, to show people, what does it say here?
Stand-up guy.
That I show her tickets merely acts to humanize the person that none of you effing morons know. If you don't like her address showing, blame your local police department. They post it, so I can't easily cut and paste without including it. F editing and F you too. Look, she got tickets. Obviously, I've had an F of a lot more, but we already posted all my S in another thread.
Oh, this is some weird
So whoever the bitch was who suggested it, you ain't S, so don't waste your time coming at me.
This is a tough guy.
Right, this comes from, I don't know if it's the guy's name or not, but it says on this website, Robert Stidman.
That makes sense.
I'm not going to mention the town the guy lives in or his address, but, hey, dude. This is Don, the guy that you know so much about and you love writing about on the Internet. I've got your information now.
Good.
Very good.
I think that deserves a round of applause. That's pretty speedy.
Record time, I think.
Pretty good. Pretty good. So I'll be waiting for your phone call. I'd love to hear from you. You're a big man on the Internet. You say blame Fairfax County because they post it. Yeah, they post information about people who get tickets like my wife, but what they don't do is then post it on a message board where other people will read it and write notes about calling my house or sending me letters.
Right.
And I've just had it with it, and it's time that everybody digs this. I'm not calling for vigilante justice. I'm just saying, let's get this guy accountable. It blows my mind a guy could do this.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And
you think you can hide? And how stupid you are. We didn't even have to do a lot of searching to find out your address because you posted it yourself.
Right.
You think it's so great? Not a lot of people look at that Internet site that you posted my address on. A lot of people are going to look at it today, and I guarantee a lot of people are going to search your name and your record. And then let's see how you like it. Let's see how you like it. With people sending you stuff in the mail or driving by your house. See how you look at Mr. Stidman, Mr. Big Man, Mr. Hide Behind the Internet, you effing creep, you piece of garbage. Less than a man is what you are. Jesus Christ, I'll find your phone number up and call you during a break. Really. Just an ass. Anyway, thank you, everybody.
Not a sermon, just a thought.
That was quick.
That was rapid.
And if that guy was here, you know what I would do? I would throw a phone at him.
And probably just graze him.
Just graze him.
Just graze him like Russell Crowe. And we're told to correct that story, that it's not $11 million that he's settling for. You see that on Regis and Kathy Lee? I say Kathy Lee, and I do. It's a legitimate mistake Kelly. Every time I do that.
Kelly Lee.
But it is $11 million.
Well, Regis came out and said that Russell Crowe settled his problem with the law in New York by paying $11 million, and then the lawyer apparently called the show and said, no, he didn't. It's still in negotiations. They're not paying. No, it seems a hell of a lot of money for that.
Yeah. It's a done, closed deal, and here's the information. Why would Russell Crowe threw the phone at the guy because he couldn't get a hold of his wife to tell him he wasn't banging another chick.
That time a kangaroo down.
So he throws he throws a kangaroo. He throws the phone at the guy.
Hey, Don.
Yes, Russell.
Hey, you want me to go pay that louse a visit?
Oh, would I?
Yeah, there you go.
Would you grab his...
I'll grab his gribblies.
His gribblies?
And I make sure that I take him down to the swag man, and we'll see if his goolagong lasts after that.
Now, really, I did some research on this, and here is the answer. Why would Russell Crowe really pay $11 million to a guy who he threw a phone at?
Why?
Here's why. The guy has Russell Crowe over a barrel. First off, he lawyered up.
Mm-hmm.
Second, if Russell Crowe ends up being convicted of a crime in connection with this, he could be forced, this is a possibility, a legal possibility, he could be forced to leave the United States.
Oh.
That would mean he could never make movies here.
Right.
He couldn't come to the Oscars here. He couldn't do anything. It is not a done deal yet.
$11 million. That'll buy a swag man's load of jolly snog wobbles.
Sure will.
It's not a done deal yet, but I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And he had to actually look and say, okay. And his lawyer said, regardless if the guy's a nut job or not, if they bring you to court and they want to make an example out of you, dude, they can make it so you could never come back again. So he's going to write the check.
I gotta cave in. It's not something that I'm looking forward to. I'd like to actually just meet him in a dark alley. I'd really like to give him what for. That's right, boys. Come on, lads. Let's go. I didn't want to even buy him one fishy box sniffle.
You didn't want to buy him a what?
A box sniffle. Sydney candy.
What the frig is that?
Candy we sell in Sydney. Would you like a box sniffle? Yes, they're tasty. Chocolate and raspberry.
Remember when Mike Tyson lost that fight?
Yes.
And we thought his life was over?
Right.
No, Mike Tyson still gives.
Oh, good.
And who the hell knows where Sardinia is?
Sardinia?
Is that in Italy?
Yeah, it's Sardinia. It's near Sicily.
Anyway,
there's two islands off the coast of Italy. One Sardinia and one Sicily.
And he's been also around Greece lately as well.
Oh. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. So he's on this Italian island, and I find this hard to believe. Really, a local woman has reported that he beat her up when she refused to have sex with him.
Oh, dear.
That doesn't sound like him.
No, it doesn't.
That's not his M.O.
So anyway, Iron Mike, there you go. DonnaMikeWebsite.com is not up and running yet. It will be this week. One of the very first pictures that we post on the website will be a picture of a chair. It's a chair that Kevin Smith gave to Ben Affleck.
Oh, yeah.
Now, and maybe you've heard about this on the famous Internet. Apparently, when they were making Jersey Girl, Kevin Smith, who I think is a brilliant guy, Jay and Silent Bob, he had a chair made for Ben and for Jen and had their faces where you put your ass.
Right.
And apparently, Ben Affleck has thrown the chair away. Now, he already threw away the Jennifer Lopez chair.
Of course.
But he had held on to the Ben Affleck chair. Kevin Smith, also on the back of the chair, in very tiny letters, they have painted the titles of Ben's movies, like Good Will Hunting and Daredevil.
What's he doing that for? That sounds like kind of jive, doesn't it?
Let me see. Allegedly, Jennifer Garner said, get these out of the house. That's his new Jennifer.
Sure.
And anyway, someone has ended up with it. They say it's going to end up on eBay.
Of course.
And, Mike, there. Now, again, I can't share this with you because our website is not up and running yet. But that's the chair. And if you do an internet search,
just where you put your ass.
Right on his face.
My God.
Same with her. And he had to get rid of hers. If you do an internet search on Ben Affleck chair or Kevin Smith, you'll find the picture. You'll find the picture.
It's the ugliest thing in the world. I mean, I would just think a celebrity, but then it's Ben Affleck, so I'm not surprised he kept it.
And then every once in a while over the weekend, there are a lot of times when I read stuff or I hear something and I think of Frida. And I get really sad.
Of course.
I read this over the weekend, and I did not get sad. This really reminded me of Frida Take It as such. That chick, Jennifer Connelly.
Yes.
She was in A Beautiful Mind, ABM, and she was in, was she in The Hulk?
The Hulk, yeah.
Let me see. She's married to some guy. I don't know why I looked at this. Oh, here, I know why. She's talking about sex in bed, as opposed, I guess, to sex on a table.
Sure.
Anyway, she said, quote, here's a quote. She's married to some guy named Paul Bettany, and apparently this guy went on TV and said, our marriage is rock solid. Our only problem is our sex life. So then they asked Jennifer Connelly, and she said, our marriage is great. And here's her quote. I love to have sex with Paul. I do like to read a book while having sex with him. I also like to talk on the phone while having sex with him. You get so much done when you're having sex with Paul. If the room's dark enough, I've even done online shopping while having sex with Paul.
That's a little distracting.
That's a highly interesting quote there.
That made me think of my lovely wife.
Well, it beats what Carrie does when we have sex.
And that is?
Cry for help. Quiet, you're ruining it. You're ruining it.
And how about this? Joan Rivers.
That changes the mood.
Joan Rivers.
I have no face.
She has Peter Jennings jokes now in her stand-up routine.
Of course she does.
I'll have the tape for you tomorrow.
Wow, that's soon.
She's working. There
she is.
There's Paul Gorgie. And we've got
I forgot that we've officially named the seal Paul Gorgie.
And he's wearing a wonderful sailor suit and sailor hat today.
And balancing a beach ball on his nose.
There's Paul Gorgie, the official seal of the Don and Mike Show, which has something to do with Joan Rivers.
Gorgie.
So here's the thing. She's at this place called The Cutting Room in New York, and I've been told that we'll have a copy of the tape tomorrow. Right. She's doing stand-up, and here's the jokes. Peter Jennings, and then the crowd goes, ooh, and she says, what the F are you sad about? He's not dead. He's trying to get a better contract. Then the room goes silent. Then Joan Rivers says, what's your problem? Everybody makes a big deal about it. Raise your hands if in the last 4 months you even mentioned Peter Jennings. And again the room goes silent.
Right.
And Joan Rivers ends up saying, you don't know what's effing funny, and walks off stage.
Wow.
Hope to have the tape for you tomorrow. It's probably like everything already on the internet, but that was at the Cutting Room in New York.
She's edgy. Nice to see she's still edgy.
She's got it.
She's got it. I mean, that's edgy. She's throwing up stuff and see what's, you see what sticks to the wall. That's comedy.
I hope somebody calls her and tells her she's gone over the line.
Over the line, yes. Not digging it, Joan.
Like that bitch did with us last week.
I was repeating that all weekend long, too. Not digging it, guys.
And Wednesday we'll have the Neil Diamond guys down here with the sandwich boards and the RSO stuff.
Right.
That'll be Wednesday. They'll be in front of our station at 5 o'clock.
I like RSO.
Both of the guys. we got to break. I have time for a very fast feel good.
Oh, good.
This is kind of a, if any kids are listening, this would be a good time for mom or dad to turn up the radio.
Turn up the radio?
Turn up the radio.
Wow. Okay.
Because you want to remember, kids, study, study, study.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's the lesson.
The headmistress of a school seriously injured. Now, the boy's fine. Let me just say this.
Start there.
That's always interesting.
The boy is fine.
Uh-huh. Good.
He's 6. He wasn't paying attention in class.
Okay.
She hit him in his private parts.
Oh, my.
Every time he would make a mistake, she would hit him or squeeze him.
But this can't be the United States.
No. Of course not, Mike.
Now, what fine part of the world was it in?
This is in the... Jesus Christ.
You can't even pronounce the name. Is it that convoluted?
A village school. I wonder if the village people go to that school. A village school in West Bengal.
Oh, okay.
Wherever the hell that is.
It's where they have the tigers.
And all I know is the boy's name is...
Cincinnati.
The boy's name is Rajdip. Or Rajdip. R-A-J-D-I-P.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
Never get on Jag's bad side. He does that to you, too.
But you'd be glad to know that at first what she did was, and the story goes into great detail, Jag, right, with the flying carpet. We have a terrorist who works here at the station. Excuse me. I mean, we have a guy, a foreigner.
Suspected terrorist.
Who works at the station. And whenever we mention his name, we like playing the flying carpet sound effect.
There it is.
Sorry, the story, the feel-good about the kid that goes like this, and you like this because the kid actually kind of gets the last word in, that what happens is he's in front of the class, and she says no, and at first she gives him one of these on his thing, and he says, hey, knock it off. Then the next time he makes a mistake, she squeezes his beanbag.
Wow.
And then when she went for the ruler... That's when the kid smacked her and ran out of the schoolroom. So, were you listening, kids? There you go.
See, you better pay attention in school. We're not kidding you this time.
That's from Uncle Don and from Uncle Mike.
Join the rest of your friends who are headed back
to school.
That's right. Get a good engine.
Good lesson.
Got to break. We've not gotten to Jesus Christ today. We've not gotten to the Sex Lines Challenge. I got a great thing about Mariah Carey, Paula Abdul. Oh, and did anybody see Arnold last night on 60 Minutes?
I did not have the pleasure.
Okay. Maybe we come back. We should review these tapes. Yeah. I'm positive at least on one occasion, I was half watching while I was making dinner. He used the inflection, not only the inflection, but the actual words that we love, where he said, and I says. And, like, whoever it is, Mike Wallace, whoever, they don't stop him to say, hey, listen, you big, dumb Nazi.
Right.
It's not I says, it's I said.
I said.
And a lot of
You're
these
the
comments,
governor.
a lot of these comments are in the context of how he wants to be the first foreign guy to be president.
He's got tremendous ambition and says, I can do that. I can become president.
And the only thing that really, truly made me laugh was, because, you know, I love cigars.
Right.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger loves cigars,
That's right.
they're big anti-everything in California.
Sure.
Of course, and anti-smoking is number one on top. They showed at the governor's mansion in Sacramento, in the backyard, he has a gigantic tent. Mm-hmm. And he has air conditioners back there, and he has refrigerators, and he has computers, and it's his smoking tent. And they showed him with, I swear to God, it looked like something that you would see in a Mary Carey video. This big, long, gigantic, almost like a gag cigar.
Really?
That he's walking around with, and he's loving the fact that as he's talking and they're saying, Arnold, there's no smoking, he's saying, this is my tent, and then right into the camera.
Wow. Anyway, I love it.
He's so big, he's so stupid, he's so great.
Deals in his smoking tent, set up in an open-air courtyard near his office. A place to schmooze and cajole. Light up.
I guess it's morally safer.
World, and for good measure, outrage health advocates.
This is the smoking tent.
Oh, it's wonderful.
This is where we made a lot of the deals.
You live like a pasha.
Well, I wouldn't say that. That's a little carried away, but I mean.
Anyway, you get a taste.
I can't wait.
I guess it's morally safer, so we'll come back with some Arnold. We'll be right back.
This is the Don and Mike Show.
Get ready for the dog days of summer. A whole night of dog on A&E. Plenty of grilling.
You are hiding her. You're a liar.
Lots and lots of hunting.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
And some vacation nookie.
She just gets all excited when I do an arrest.
Dog the Bounty Hunter Dogathon.
It's the ultimate DOG.
Featuring the Lost Dog Pilot. Starts tomorrow night at 8, 7 Central. Only on A&E.
You're going to love this.
Ever wonder who coined the phrase, we eliminate the middleman? Well, one thing's pretty certain. It wasn't the middleman. And how did they eliminate him? Something fishy there. But I digress. Geico pioneered direct-to-consumer car insurance over 65 years ago, and they've been saving smart drivers money ever since. Give them a call, and you might ask them, what did they do with the middleman?
Geico's customer satisfaction stands at 97%. How would you rate your car insurance company? Geico. 1-800-947-AUTO. 15 minutes could save you 15%.
I'm beginning to get a little bit scared.
Tomorrow at 10, the Discovery Channel will ask you this question. How far would you go to unleash the wild man within?
Everyone said to me last night when I moved in is you must drink blood with us.
Going Tribal with extreme explorer Bruce Perry.
Bloody hell. Anything could happen, I suppose.
Going Tribal. Don't just see the tribe, be the tribe on the Discovery Channel. Tomorrow at 10.
Get the good stuff. Even with today's high-tech engines, a good old-fashioned oil change is still the most important maintenance you can do. It improves fuel economy and dependability and helps you avoid costly repairs. Right now at Napa Auto Parts, you can get Castrol GTX conventional motor oil for just $1.79 per quart. And Castrol Syntec full synthetic motor oil for just $4.19 per quart. Price does not include state and local taxes or recycling fees. Get the good stuff. Napa. Get the good stuff.
It's the Don and Mike Show on Pittsburgh's new talk station, The Edge, 1550.
NBC News Radio, I'm Bob Kerr at the White House. A momentous day in the Middle East. Israel began its planned pullout from the Gaza Strip, even as thousands of defiant settlers refused their eviction orders. NBC's Tom Aspel in Gaza City.
Out of the 9,000 Jewish settlers in the Gaza Strip, probably half have left already. The rest say they'll wait until the army forcibly removes them.
In Iraq, politicians writing a new constitution missed their deadline today, but the parliament agreed to give them another week to work out a deal. The main sticking point, the role of religion in the new government. Here at home, budget forecasters predict a little rosier picture for the national debt. New estimates put this year's red ink 20% lower than last year. And Harvard researchers found that women who take certain non-aspirin over-the-counter painkillers every day run more of a risk of developing high blood pressure than those who don't. I'm Bob Kerr, NBC News Radio.
Get the good stuff.
Right now would be a good time to come to Napa Auto Parts because you can get a Napa Power 65-month battery for just $39.99 with exchange. And if it carries a Napa name, it's manufactured to the highest industry standards. Did you know summer's high temperatures could be tougher on your battery than the cold? So if your battery isn't getting the job done, take care of it now with the Napa Power 65-month battery for just $39.99. Get the good stuff. Napa, get the good stuff.
Millions of miles, thousands of TV appearances, hundreds of baseball games, 80 years of history, and a fleet of Goodyear blimps all add up to one big celebration. The Goodyear Blimp Birthday Celebration with sky-high savings on some of Goodyear's most popular tires. Plus, get up to an $80 rebate on a qualifying purchase. Offers end August 27th. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR for complete details and the participating retailer nearest you. Goodyear. For 80 years, it's been the name everyone looks up to. Mail-in rebate offer subject to credit approval. Restrictions apply.
Whether they're your spouse, boyfriend, or girlfriend, or you're looking to turn up the heat on your love life, Sassy Sensations is the place to shop. A gift from the exciting world of Sassy Sensations says so much to the person you're giving it to. You'll find everything, including pleasure toys, lingerie, fun games, edibles, and other erotic items the mall wouldn't think of stocking. Speaking of stockings and the like, whether you're outrageously sexy, a simple romantic at heart, or just have a naughty streak, there are Sassy Sensations surprises that will fit you. Sassy Sensations is completely dedicated to love, romance, and total enjoyment in the bedroom or wherever fun takes you. Pamper yourself, intensify each other's intimate moments, and be free to create your own special passion. Come see me, Vanessa, at Sassy Sensations, Route 88 in Castle Shannon, or click your mouse with sassysensations.com and give us a call at 1-877-467-2779. That's right, 1-877-467-2779. Sassy Sensations, where good boys and girls get even better.
Greetings. I'm the devil. You know me. Some better than others. And you also know it gets hot down here. Burning hot. To cool off this summer, I'm getting an air conditioning system installed by Bolster to Heart. Installation and service with financing available. Such a temptation. As a matter of fact, Bolstered to Heart even handles furnaces. To summon them, dial 412-367-3900 or go online. My playground at www.bolster-deheart.com. Bolster to Heart. Without them, summer heat can become a living. You know.
Is your car covered in dust? Has someone written the words "wash me" on it? It might be a good time to clean your vehicle. If you're looking for a quick, reliable, and inexpensive self-serve car wash, check out Weston Enterprises' 4 convenient locations. On McLaughlin Road, close to the Bridgeville Borough in Upper St. Clair. On Kennywood Boulevard, just 1/4 mile from Kennywood McDonald's in Duquesne. On Route 48, Mosside Boulevard, only 1/4 mile from the Gateway High School in Monroeville. And on West Carson Street, right across from Caravelli Chevrolet in the Keys Rocks. Each self-serve location has new vacuums for great suction, lots of soap, lots of water pressure, and great foam brushes. Treat your ride and clean it today at one of the Weston Enterprises conveniently located self-serve car washes near you. Oh, by the way, don't forget to clean the mirrors.
Once upon a time in a small cottage lived a boy named Chuck. One day, Chuck heard a knock from inside the wall.
Who is it?
He cried, for Chuck cried rather easily.
It is I, the energy hog over here,
said a voice. Now, an energy hog is what you have when people waste energy. Chuck ran to tell his family.
There's a hog in our
house,
exclaimed Chuck.
That's no way to talk about your Aunt Melba,
said his mother, and sent him to his room.
That does it,
said Chuck. He raced to his computer and logged on to energyhog.org.
I'll just have to get rid of it myself.
At energyhog.org, Chuck played cool games and learned to use energy wisely. He learned that by switching to better light bulbs, he had the power to rid the cottage of the evil energy hog forever.
I'm leaving, but I shall return,
vowed the hog.
Don't count on it, Bacon Breath,
vowed Chuck. And the moral of the story is, to use energy wisely, log on to energyhog.org, or a switch in time saves swine.
This public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Nursing is an exciting career with many opportunities. Here's what today's nursing professionals are saying.
I think this is a great time to go into the nursing profession.
Nursing offers many opportunities to change and grow.
You can work med-surg,
operating rooms, rehab nursing. That same degree of nursing you can take with you and use it throughout your life.
Feel the rush. For information on a rewarding career, call 800-377-4502 or visit futuresinnursing.org. Sponsored by FIA and the Pennsylvania Higher Education Foundation.
Do you own or manage a small business? These aren't easy times, huh? Well, no matter what you make, sell, or do, it almost always seems to boil down to two things: attracting more customers and keeping your old customers as satisfied customers. And when you just need more customers to come in the door, there's really only one way to get them there, and that's advertising. How are potential customers supposed to know about your business if you don't tell them? Well, that's what we specialize in here at The Edge 1550. Oh, sure, we aren't the biggest station in town, but you probably couldn't afford the big one anyway. And you know who our audience is. For instance, you're listening right now. You know, you can't grow your business and attract new customers by not telling anybody what you do. Find out how affordable, flexible, and creative our staff can be working for your business. Call 412-942-0078. That's 412-942-0078. Let us try to help you make your business better. The Edge 1550 at 412-942-0078.
WURP Braddock. WURP Braddock. Pittsburgh's new talk radio station is 1550 The Edge.
From the beginning to the end, it will be great entertainment. They will walk out of the theater and say, I am so angry that I can't get another ticket right away because I want to see it a second time. And there's a long line here.
The Don and Mike Show.
And they says...
They shall make the beast with two backs.
Right.
Don and Mike.
And now let's fight Foo. There we go. All right, the Arnold tapes from last night.
Rock and roll.
Also, just a private message from me to Robert. Not the mailman, the other one, and not Robert, my godson. Where you at, buddy? I'm trying to call you. You're born in 1979. You're only 26. Happy birthday. What does January make him? An Aquarius?
Yes, I believe so.
This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
It will be. Trust me, it will be.
Have fun.
You know, all I got to do when I get in my car is just put your address in there. And my car has got that navigation thing. I'm not going to do that because I'm not nutty like that.
No.
Right.
You have stuff to do.
I'm really looking forward to talking to you, Robert. Now that I've got your phone number.
Good.
And your address.
I think
so
it's
anyway,
delightful.
Thank you, everybody. Now, back to Arnold. Now, back to...
yes.
The governor of California.
The governor.
Who last night on 60 Minutes, you know, it was almost like he was going to a massage parlor for a happy ending. The way that the old Morley Safer treated him.
Right.
There were no tough questions.
No.
Everything was like... I'm amazed at the way that this outspoken former movie star has turned his life around.
Of course, they send Morley out, right? Morley's the softer of the two. They send Wallace out, and Wallace isn't he 90?
85.
Yeah.
85.
You send Wallace out, you're in trouble. Steve Croft, you're in trouble.
Right.
Leslie Stahl, you're in trouble. Ed Morley Safer out.
He's going to ask you, what kind of wall hangings you have.
He's the Larry King of 60 Minutes.
Yeah, he's going to do the soft piece.
So here's some more Arnold last night on 60 Minutes, just being himself.
Why did you do it? Had you become bored, fed up with acting?
Yes. And all of a sudden I realized that, I've done this, I've gotten to the top, I'm the highest paid actor that there ever was in the history.
I am a machine.
I've done all of those different things. So I said to myself, I'm tired of the same things. I'm jumping over car hoods at 3 a.m. and then going up to someone.
You're showing the clips.
I'm back, and then blow him away or something. So all of this is great, but I mean, eventually it gets old.
No, and old. I wish he was honest.
Can you be caught, Batman?
People stopped going to his movies.
Yeah.
That's why this was a beautiful segue for him.
Yes.
It's not like the Terminator movie. Terminator 3 was a gigantic hit.
Right. People stopped seeing me, and then I thought I'd reinvent myself because that's what I do.
You got to see when they're showing his office at the state capitol in Sacramento. Mm-hmm. Normally you would have, like, degrees or pictures on the wall.
Right.
He's got the big sword from Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, my God.
Maybe that's in the clip. Here we go.
As the kind of movie star that you were, certainly, you could be a dictator. You could say, I want it, and it gets done. You can't do that now.
You're absolutely correct. And now this is different. But look, this is the great thing about it, about adjusting from one career to the next.
What?
And the key thing always is to keep your eye on the ball.
Well, speaking of which, it took a lot of balls to go cold turkey into politics.
Hey, now how about Morley Safer with a great transition?
Yeah.
Hey, Arnold, speaking of balls.
How about that, Arnold?
Hey, Arnold, speaking of balls, mine dropped about 80 years ago. They're useless. Jesus. Morley Safer.
Yes, but I've never had a lack of that. So may I remind you, it makes no difference to me because I always say, what's the worst that can happen? That you fail. I mean, that's really not that bad.
Are you retarded?
What's the worst?
It's not a rhetorical question.
Yeah?
Are you retarded?
Yes. Yes, I say so.
All right, now, I love the part where he talks about Gray Davis.
Okay.
Because Morley Safer...
Does he still pronounce it as Cray Davis?
Yeah. And Morley Safer really lathers him up by saying, this guy Gray Davis... He was the perfect guy for you to go against. What a loser he was.
Yeah, let me soap me up, Morley. Soap me.
Could not have asked for a better opponent than Gray Davis.
No, listen, hold on a second.
Right, you're just so much better.
Why not just climb in Arnold's pants and report from, the back door?
Hey, Morley, get out of there. I have to, come on now, it's too tight.
Right. So imagine that. You're doing what you're working for 60 Minutes, for God's sake.
Hi, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm walking down the State House hallways, and if you know that I'm limping a little bit, it's because I've got Morley Safer in my pants.
So Morley Safer says, hey, that Gray Davis, what a friggin' loser. Isn't it great that he was the guy?
You're right, he was an idiot. Thanks, Morley.
You could not have asked for a better opponent than Gray Davis, who was right on the road.
What about Carrot Top?
He was a jewel. He was good.
A year later, his approval rating among Californians was running about 65%, a number any politician would envy. What would you give yourself in a report card now, after a year?
An 8.
An 8?
From 8 to 10. If 10 being the highest, I would give myself an 8. I think that I fell short on some of the things. Probably with communications with the legislators.
He hit a rough patch with lawmakers last summer, delivering a remark that was pure Arnold.
Yeah.
And I hope
this thing.
Those that want to sell out to the special interests, those squirrely men up there in Sacramento.
Like, Morley Safer never says to him...
Well, what about this? Is this a new piece or an old piece? Because, I mean, his approval ratings have gone down on the toilet.
They mentioned that.
Right.
They mentioned that. I think this may have been something they ran. They ran a little...
They do follow-ups all the time in the summer, right?
Then they ran an addendum at the beginning, and at the beginning, like a disclaimer.
Updated. Yeah.
Here is more of it.
You have taken some heat over the issue of balancing the budget. In the course of trying to pay the bills, you got deeper into debt.
Did we solve the problem in 1 year? No. Morley, they've ruined the state. Morley, for 5 years, they kept spending, and spending. They were out of control. We are talking here about addicts. The people sent me to Sacramento to be the outside intervention.
It's all, you get the impression he sits in a room and gets, I mean, these statements are also manufactured.
And you had to see him on camera, that he's got the big cigar and he's got the manicured hands, he's got the big gigantic cufflinks.
They sent me in for the outside intervention.
And Morley Safer, for some reason, for whatever, he sounds like Peter Jennings to me. I don't mean that he sounds dead. I mean...
But he sounded like that for a number of years.
Listen to the way
he's so old.
Listen to, yeah, okay, I guess so.
You are ineligible, obviously, to run for president. Would you like to be able to? Would you like to see an amendment to the Constitution?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I want to be emperor of the world. I want to be Emperor Ming.
Would you like to be shot in the head? No. Would I like Arnold to be president? No.
I think, because why not? I mean, anyone that is like, with my way of thinking, you always shoot for the top. But it's not something that I'm preoccupied with.
I'm aiming high.
I'm not thinking one single minute about that. Because there's so many things that I have to do in California, and my promise was to straighten out the mess in California.
The guy can't even speak English.
This is right. I do speak English.
How about Arnold watching Arnold?
We concluded our visit with the Governator by showing him the last few seconds of our first encounter 27 years ago, back when he was a 30-year-old on a very fast track.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is a contented soul. He's happy as a clam, strong as a horse.
He's big and dumb. I mean, not that he's not now.
Funny thing,
but like the pumping iron days.
Right. Man to be doing? Well, so does Arnold. And he's laughing with you all the way to the bank.
What do you make of that kid?
It's amazing to see that. So you have to get me a tape of that.
I will.
And I'm still laughing. Not all the way to the bank. My wife is screaming, now you make no money. You make us. But at least have a good time, man. It's a challenging job, and I'm having the greatest time in the world doing this.
Dummy.
I'm having a good time. Wow. Are you having a good time? You want to come to my smoking tent?
See if I can find the part about Maria's office. She's got an office in the Capitol, and he mentions it's way down here because she's a Democrat.
Showing us around the governor's domain in the Capitol building, he takes a kind of boyish pride in his wall of fame.
I hear you missed
great moments in the Schwarzenegger administration.
It's a great shot. Look at this with the American flag.
Now, we're walking down a hallway here with the camera crew.
This is a great shot.
And they're all pictures of him.
Yes.
It's like him at the Republican convention. Then it's him making like a G.I. Joe pose with the flag. And he's saying, seriously, look at these. These are great photos.
Molly, keep up with me. Candy ass.
And you totally missed it. You just walked by.
Poster boy.
Okay, I forgive you
Poster
for that.
boy.
Hello, everybody.
Even in the driest of settings, a meeting of his economic advisors, there's a Hollywood touch. Greeting the diminutive Nobel Prize winner Milton Friedman reminds the governor of his one-time co-star, Danny DeVito.
This is Twins 2. Look at this. Twins 2.
Oh, God.
Perfect.
This is what passes in California, that there's whoever the guy is, the Nobel Prize or Pulitzer
Prize. And they're all like unhinging their jaws and laughing at that.
He's a short guy.
Right.
So they're standing together, and all he does is say, "Yeah, twins."
Twins 2.
They go, oh.
Hilarious.
Let me see. Did I play you about one about power? About how much power he has?
I want to hear
As
that.
the kind of movie star that you were, certainly.
Oh.
You could be a dictator. You could say, I want it.
Oh, yeah, you played that here, this one. He's half a dictator.
Yes, I do whatever I want.
Okay, here's one more.
We first met Arnold Schwarzenegger 2 careers back. In 1977, he was 30, the king of the muscle man.
Through bodybuilding, I did a lot of things, I got into the films.
And even then, he now says he was itching to move on.
One day I stood there on the stage and I said, why am I standing here with my little posing trunks, oiled up, trying to be the most muscular man?
Posing?
Why?
He was always a quick study.
Yeah.
And back then, he'd already figured out the key element to his success in bodybuilding, in the movies.
I'll be back.
And in politics.
Moron.
I feel that you can have the best product in the world, but if you don't know how to sell it, and if you don't have anybody who can sell it for you or tell the public, it's a waste of time, the whole thing.
I guess you kind of proved your point, yes?
Oh, absolutely. And I still say that.
He's
Selling
cocky.
and communicating to the people is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. But you have to have an instinct for that. You can't learn that, right?
You can't learn it. You have it or you don't have it.
Shut up!
Molly, Molly, come on, it's time for my colonic.
There's 8,000 more of these tapes.
Wow. Hey, everyone. I just thought I put my head in the door. Look, I'm giving myself a Molly safer enema.
Let me see if I played this one. Did I play the one about the smoking tent?
A bit of it. In his smoking tent, set up in an open-air courtyard near his office.
WURP Braddock. WURP Braddock. Pittsburgh's new talk radio station is 1550 The Edge. The Edge. The Don and Mike Show.
What's the word from Planet Crackpot?
The Don and Mike Show.
Coming up, Handsome Man recaps news in pleasing baritone. Stay tuned for this and more.
Oh, that's Buzz.
If you really knew them, you'd hate them. Yeah. Don and Mike.
Time for Buzz's News and Comments. Buzz is brought to us by Veramax. I've never heard this coffee before. Bear with me. Veramax, the world's #1 sexual pleasure performance enhancer. #1 because it really works out developed.
Someone called for a doctor.
Clinically tested, patented. This is a joke, of course. I read this every day at this time for the last 10 years. Veramax available at retailers nationwide. I wake up in the middle of the night and I scream. Call 1-888-TRY-VMAX. Yes. And speaking of that, why don't they send me some of that?
Yeah, I'm sure we got it in the closet.
You know what I did over the weekend? Not to get into I don't want to take it a Buzz's time. The doctor had given Frida Viagra a couple of years ago, like
right.
as an experiment.
Right.
Nothing happened when she took it.
Right.
I actually took one over the weekend.
Nothing.
No.
Maybe they gave you both placebos.
I don't think so. Sure did taste like real Viagra. Hi there, Buzz.
Hi, Don and Mike. Well, American Idol begins production this week on a new season, and just in time, the Fox network has finished its investigation into the accusation that Judge Paula Abdul slept with a contestant.
Are you wearing a shark tooth?
Well, yes, I am.
All right. That's what it was. I'm sorry.
I've been to the beach.
You know, I work with you all day today, and I'm looking over at you.
We didn't have time today to get into it, but Buzz is in my notes, just like Beth Ann's in my notes. Mm-hmm. At some point, I'm going to ask Buzz on the air, and I've not asked him off the air. All I know is that he and his crazy wife, Marcia, went camping this weekend. Mm-hmm. You know, camping equals swapping.
Well, Buzz loves the outdoors.
Yes, it was camping with another couple, right?
Well, yes, it was, coincidentally.
And weren't you by Assateague Island?
I was on Assateague Island.
And you shared like an RV?
Yes, a camper.
Is that how you got the tooth?
When I was at the beach, yes. It was one of those boardwalk items, because you can't beat the beach jewelry.
Your shark tooth is, like, skewed off to the left.
Yeah, I know. It keeps happening. Either it does that or it jabs me in the neck.
It's nasty. Yeah. But it's a nice little shark tooth.
May come off there.
The guy that sold you the tooth, is his name Robert?
No, it isn't.
Okay, so it's probably a shark tooth.
Yeah. When Buzz came in today, we talking. I said, "How was your weekend?" He said, "Oh, it was great. I went camping." I'm like, okay.
You don't think of Buzz as a camper.
I said, "Don't tell me anything else. I just want to write down a note and we'll talk about it."
But you know, though, most of the time since I've known Buzz, he's always been a happy camper.
That's right. Constantly redefining myself.
Sure.
Yeah. In its investigation.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. In its investigation, Fox found that one of the stars of its most popular show is apparently innocent of any wrongdoing. The investigation concluded, yes.
Way to go, Paula. I'm behind you. We need you on that show.
The investigation concluded that there is insufficient evidence that Abdul's relationship with contestant Corey Clark had any effect on the outcome of the talent competition. Fox says it'll reveal its findings to the public, but without identifying any of the witnesses or any other detail Fox decides is of a personal nature.
I think she's important to that show. I really, really do.
Yeah, I agree.
And they were talking about replacing her with Janet Jackson.
Yeah, or Whitney Houston.
You couldn't do it. You got to have her. I agree. American Idol related, Dick Clark, who incidentally has not been seen or heard.
Yeah, and I mean, you read some stuff in the tabloids
for a long time. Put me out of my misery.
There was a press release. He is going to come back and do New Year's Rockin' Eve this year.
Wow.
However, it's a transition. This is going to make you puke. he's going to do it with Ryan Seacrest. And this is going to be the year that he kind of hands the baton
to Seacrest?
To Ryan Seacrest, who for some reason has been anointed the Carson Daly of the aughts. Is that what I call the decade of 2000?
So Ryan Seacrest, that's an iconic kind of position. That's amazing.
There's another change. They're not going to lower the big lighted ball. They're going to let Dick's lip droop. Sorry. Was it worth it?
No.
Should I have a seat?
Yes. Thank you, Rob.
I'm sleepy. The drooping lip. Goodbye.
The drooping lip. Not to be confused with the Redskins' lazy R.
The lazy R.
And if I could just take a moment to say to those boys, boy, do I have the spirit.
There you go.
You know, I know it's just exhibition.
Meaningless football.
That's right. I know it don't matter.
Right.
And I know, and trust me, I believe what the dumb announcers say.
Right.
You know, Joe Gibbs doesn't want to show anything.
No,
he's not going to show any of the offense. And as Jacksonville, or who were they playing? Carolina. As they were scoring touchdown after touchdown, one of the announcers, I think it was Jeff Bostic, said, Carolina, yeah, let's hear it for him. They ran a reverse down by the goal line and almost scored. And Bostic said, you know, and he had a tone of voice that indicated the other team had done something wrong. He said, you know, you wouldn't see that out of a Joe Gibbs team in the preseason.
What, nearly scoring?
Hey, Dick, hold on. What did the other team do? They ran a reverse. And no one from the Redskins tackled them, and somehow they're not playing by the rules. Because, you know, that's something a Joe Gibbs team would not do. Well, maybe that's why Joe Gibbs hasn't won any games since he came back.
Sour grapes.
Well, nothing's been the same since he left that day. Momentum for the Skins slowly faded away.
Joe Gibbs.
We know he loves his cars.
That poor MFer.
Fast track, but
got in over his head.
We're glad he's coming.
Should have stayed in NASCAR.
As Redskins fans, we're not trying to be glib, but look out, Dallas, our coach is Joe Gibbs. Joe Gibbs.
I feel bad for him. I really do.
Yeah.
He's got all those old coaches, and you want the team to do well.
You know who I feel bad for in all this? Oh, Danny boy.
And you know the other thing that's got to drive people crazy? Last year, Brunell was the guy, Mark Brunell. Right. He was the guy. They say, he's the cancer. Get rid of him. I can't tell you how many people I talked to on Sunday. I said, did you watch the game last night? I said, oh, God, yeah, they stunk. I said, you know what? Brunell looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's get, it's like, hold on a second. Let's get Brunell in there.
Right.
Why don't we just get Dan Snyder to play quarterback for this team?
Now I'm buying season tickets.
I'm watching.
And
don't help me.
As you can see on the replay, here he fakes the handoff and to the receiver, and he is down. Touchdown, Carolina. Well, you wouldn't see that out of a Joe Gibbs team. And when Jeff Bostic is doing the TV commentary, I don't know how many thousand times he has to mention that he played for the Redskins.
Oh, well, that's his thing.
He was an original member of the Hogs. You know, Super Bowl in '82 and '87. Yo, come on,
we
please.
understand.
Shut up.
We get it. Don't remind us.
Shut up and watch what you say. Also, Jeff Bostic, there are things that you say that could be taken out of context. For instance, after they do the little ad for Kentucky Fried Chicken. I know you didn't mean it this way on TV, but I couldn't help but my ear went like a dog's ear when he hears something. When he said as they're reading the card about Kentucky Fried Chicken is the new chicken of the Redskins this year. Right. They've thrown away Popeyes and it's KFC. So they come back and he says, you know, he says to Sam Rosen, the play-by-play guy, he says, and Darryl Green, incidentally, Mr. Redskin, is on the sidelines.
Doing the sideline reporting. Right.
He says to Sam Rosen, he goes, you know, that looks mighty good. I think we might have to get a bucket of chicken and bring Darryl and have some after the game. And I watched it and I thought, you know, in another climate, friend.
Yeah, it's very, very dangerous. Be careful.
And just one other side note. I know I'm totally off target, but Sam Rosen, you cannot get by on your good looks forever. He's an announcer for Fox, and also he does the Redskins preseason.
Sure.
Be careful.
Good advice.
Veteran broadcaster.
Yeah. Brad Pitt, Sam Rosen, you decide.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see that from a Joe Gibbs team. Yeah.
After they scored a touchdown.
Bitter. I think he was bitter. I do. Boy, they look like crap, too. The Cowboys look like crap.
Well, it's just preseason.
I know it is.
This is preseason. We're not going to worry about things just yet, all right?
And then tonight, you got the Eagles and all the TO stuff.
You are so into it. You are so into it.
Don't forget our draft is next Monday, Mike.
What?
Our draft is August 22nd.
Next Monday.
Less than 7 days away?
Yes.
7 days from today.
Great. Great. You couldn't have told me that Saturday morning, huh? When we talked.
when you were
Would
drunk.
have given me plenty of the weekend to prepare.
Yeah.
Now I have no free time. What am I going to do? I have my kids next weekend.
That's right. Well, they can
I'm
help.
going to devote all the time to them. I will not be prepared. Help! I need someone.
Call down to Orlando.
J-Dubs.
Call J-Dubs.
Right.
One magazine or two this year?
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to spend a little more time with it. Not.
Shop and compare. Fox has also beefed up its policy that separates idle judges from contestants because the policy it had apparently wasn't enough. Declaring that she loves her job, Paula is preparing to report for duty later this week at San Francisco's Cow Palace, where taping begins for a new season of American Idol.
Hey, Paula Abdul at the Cow Palace.
That's right.
Why is that making me laugh?
Make up your own jokes. The star of ABC's most popular show, meanwhile, is being told to stop talking about vibrators.
What is ABC's most popular? Is that Desperate Housewives?
Desperate Housewives.
Okay.
And ever since star Ava Longoria mentioned in an interview her fondness for these devices, Disney-owned ABC has been flooded with packages that make a humming sound.
Is she the one that's going out with the guy from San Antonio?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, she's hot.
She's the best.
hottest one.
She's the best of them, right?
Yeah.
ABC
going away.
has reportedly received hundreds of packages of vibrators in the mail. Quoting Eva, people sent them to me by the truckload. Boxes of all my girlfriends, she says.
I bet that will be deleted out.
I think that probably didn't make the light
I
of
just
air.
made a funny joke referencing toys for tots.
That's right.
Exactly.
And used a different word.
Were any of the boxes addressed to Al Michaels?
I don't think so. She says ABC has asked her nicely to stop talking about the toy.
Hey, did you
look at this. Look at this quarterback. My plug is here.
Did you know that is her name Felicity Huffman?
Right.
Married to
William H. Mason?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I didn't know that they were. I did not know that.
Yes, they are married.
I did not know that, Johnny.
And they are married and happily married.
Yes.
I call it the aristocrats.
The aristocrats. Yes.
What do you call this act?
The aristocrats.
Gunfire in Crawford, Texas. That's our story when we come back.
Joan Crawford, Texas. We'll be right back, everybody.
This is the Don and Mike Show. Is the Don and Mike Show.
Gosh, I hate to interrupt. It's all been so incredibly fascinating
and
entertaining and instructive. Really, the time has just flown by.
The Don and Mike Show.
It's pimple poppin' time, because here's Don Geronimo and Mike O'Mara.
Yeah, hi, Buzz.
Hi, Don and Mike. We've run a little short of time. Just let me tell you that there was gunfire in Crawford, Texas, as one of President Bush's neighbors fired a shotgun into the air during a religious service yesterday at that little campsite outside the president's ranch where Cindy Sheehan, who lost her son in Iraq, has been protesting the war. The neighbors decided to give her a little gunfire in the air. He wasn't shooting at anybody, quoting him, "This is Texas." Finally,
was he trying to send her a message or something?
Yeah, a little message.
Oh, lovely.
Quoting him, "You figure it out."
Right.
Finally,
he looks good on the bike. If I could just say that.
He always
he looks like
he's very fit.
Like a much dumber Lance Armstrong.
Exactly.
Is the way President Bush looks on his bicycle.
What I'm trying to do is test my Secret Service detail with a grueling 2-hour bike ride.
And again, I saw nothing but just footage of him with a big-ass machete. He loves going out and just cutting down branches.
Yeah. You know, it's a 2-hour grueling bike ride in 100-degree heat and then chopping down shrubbery. That's what I call a fun vacation.
He's very fit.
It's a working vacation.
Yeah.
Finally, radio. In Tampa, a morning show's in trouble over its game to find contestants for the new Fox reality show Prison Break.
Hello.
Listeners were dressed in orange jumpsuits and turned loose in traffic during the morning rush hour.
Who's on the line?
Motorists panicked, thought there really had been a prison break, and called police.
That's funny.
Quoting a sheriff spokesman, "We took it seriously and responded with every available deputy we had in the area." And the cop reminds us that because it's Florida, motorists would have been within their legal rights to shoot the contestants had they felt threatened by them.
But that was down in Tampa Bay, I think, right, Buzz?
Yeah, that's right. Florida and Fox.
Hello.
Always a recipe for fun that spells trouble.
Hello.
I'm Buzz Burbank on the Don and Mike Show.
No.
That's it. We got to go, everybody. Thank you for listening. Please stay tuned. Great comedic stylings of Larry Michael coming next.
He is one of today's youngest and hardest working comedians.
Am I the only one that thinks Larry's going to open the show tonight with the Aristocrats joke.
Is he bringing his sidekick Chris Owens with him?
Chris Barrel of Laughs Owens.
Oh,
yep.
man, fantastic.
You can't spell hilarious without Larry.
And then, of course, Rose Peters. That's the lineup tonight on your Superstation.
LTYC.
Stay tuned.
We'll see you tomorrow with a new episode, everybody, on the Elvis Dante Show.
Laugh till you cry.
And, Robert, you know who you are. That's it. Good day to you, sir.
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 And you.
You're going to stand in Times Square and let Dick slip through.
Okay.
Thank you.
I got you.
Good job, Rob.
Till we meet again, this is Sammy Davis Jr. saying, be kind, be nice, and I hope the next performer has the pleasure of having as nice an audience as you've been tonight. And let me leave you swinging.
This is the Don and Mike Show.
It's the Don and Mike Show on Pittsburgh's new talk station, The Edge, 1550.
Is your car covered in dust? Has someone written the words, "Wash me" on it? It might be a good time to clean your vehicle. If you're looking for a quick, reliable, and inexpensive self-serve car wash, check out Weston Enterprises' 4 convenient locations. On McLaughlin Road, close to the Bridgeville Borough in Upper St. Clair. On Kennywood Boulevard, just 1/4 mile from Kennywood McDonald's in Duquesne. On Route 48, Mosside Boulevard, only 1/4 mile from the Gateway High School in Monroeville. And on West Carson Street, right across from Caravelli Chevrolet in the Keys Rocks. Each self-serve location has new vacuums for great suction, lots of soap, lots of water pressure, and great foam brushes. Treat your ride and clean it today at one of the Weston Enterprises conveniently located self-serve car washes near you. Oh, by the way, don't forget to clean the mirrors.
Data security and speed can be what puts your business ahead of your competition. But cost is important too. You might be paying every month for bandwidth you don't use. Let's talk about your company's disaster recovery system. Is it as effective and secure as it could be? What are you paying for your T1 line? I'll bet we can offer you a better deal. We're ASP Station, a premier independent server co-location facility and high-speed internet access provider. Virtually unlimited bandwidth, co-location for your backup servers, off-site system backup, and secure access to your equipment. 24/7. Check us out on the web at aspstation.net or call us at 412-661-6001. Easy number to remember, 412-661-6001. ASP Station, 412-661-6001.
You are listening